Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jay and Ty back
Hi,
again.
everybody.
Hey, happy holidays. Hope everybody didn't eat too much. Sleep.
Uh,
Right.
no comment.
Everybody got to buy some new extra size pants on Black Friday. A size too big now. Grew an inch or two overnight, but
In the
it was
wrong
fun.
direction.
Right. It was fun going down. You know. But got a couple good topics to talk about this week. And of course, as well as just, the storytelling that normally happens. Couple of the topics so you all know what to expect. Um, Kobe Bryant's wife has been getting DMs from his former players and teammates. Is that too soon? We're going to talk about that. Another topic that we're going to talk about as well is, you know, besides the Kobe Bryant wife thing, is Megan Thee Stallion says that Tory Lanez tried to offer her money to be quiet. We're going to talk about that. And a little bit of that Mike Tyson, Roy Jones situation as well. So before we get started, Miss Ty, anything you want to say before we get into it?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me, and I want to apologize for my tardiness. Thank you, Chris P. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get signed in so that I can watch. It's my fault, you guys, that Jay is starting late. He was waiting on me, and I had some calls I had to take. So my apologies.
No problem, no problem. We all here, so we get it going, and everybody we won't miss a beat. Late start, but we still on it. So
We never miss a beat, do
you
we?
know, everybody I'm here.
All
There
right.
we go.
Yeah, that was just my phone volume. Just my
All
phone
right.
volume. Hey, everybody.
No problem. And also, if you all are interested, later, maybe we'll have some time, have some people come up and hear what you got to say. And, we'll take it from there. So, anyway, um, so what do you want to talk about, say, before we get into some of these topics? Anything you want to mention or anything you got going on before we go ahead?
Before we get into the topics, no,
Yeah.
I just want to say some hellos. Hey, Christian Dior, how are you doing? And Whitney Cash Money. Look, I appreciate all of y'all. Lady B, that's my moderator extraordinaire. You have Whitney, I have Lady B. Roxy, my girl. Look, thank you all. Cash Money, everybody, y'all like all been over on my stream too, and I just appreciate the support that y'all are showing me. I appreciate y'all showing me love on my channel, and thank you, Jay, for having me over here on your channel. Whitney, I love that picture, that slamming. And I'm just liking watching the support that's going back and forth. I see a lot of my channel people here too, and so they're not, our property. They're our people now. It's all, we're all
We are
getting
one
it
big
done just the way
family.
you said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and I
are
love it.
one big family now.
I love it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you could hear me or what happened, but I guess she was reading the thing. But anyway,
Oh yeah. Jay on the way to 30K. What's up with that? Hello.
well, I'm trying. It ain't easy, but
I
we keep
know.
on going. They say slow and steady win the race. So
That's
it's a little
right.
slow
Hey,
right
I'm
now.
on
So
the way to 11, so you doing your thing.
yeah, you moving though. You moving. Just a little while ago, you was at 8, so you on the way, and that's great. So let's
Thank you.
see.
Lakeisha. Hey, Lakeisha. I didn't say hi to you. And Damon, 4030. Hey,
Dang,
like everybody's here.
yeah, so I'll talk about this, and I guess we can use this to go into our first topic. He want to know, am I going to order the fight? So if you all are not familiar with what he's talking about, I don't know how you're not familiar, but old men about to fight. The original Grudge match was a movie, but this is real. This ain't no Stallone and De Niro, which I got to do my impersonation of that movie too, of Grudge match. But if you're not familiar, it's actually a good movie. But anyway, so Mike Tyson's 54, Roy Jones 49. They're gonna fight a so-called exhibition match, 8-round fight. I believe they are gonna wear headgear. It's gonna be $49, and I am going to get it and stream it on Twitch. So if you all want to watch it, you can join in the fun. Now, what do you say about this fight? What do you think about this?
I think that if I'm going to be watching it, I will definitely be watching it on Twitch with you. I'm not spending $49 to watch these old men, but I think that it's going to be good for boxing. I'll say for me personally, I'm not interested in boxing. I have not been interested in boxing in a while. And I think that that's, we're looking at the octagon. Everybody's got MMA. They're looking at real fighting. The best thing that we've had in boxing, for the last, 10 years has been Floyd Mayweather and, dominating as far as wins are concerned, but people want to see real knockouts. People don't want to see somebody dancing around the ring and just tiring their opponent out. I think that for boxing to make a big comeback, it's going to have to be a return, and I mean like in a big way, of the heavyweight boxing class. We want those heavyweight fights. We want those heavyweight knockouts. Nobody's interested in seeing welterweights dance around the ring. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, as good as Floyd is, his fights are not exciting. Because like you say, he's not going to get hit and he's not really knocking people out with the brutal power of a heavyweight, So you do have a point. The heavyweight division lacking hurts boxing overall. And just the fact that these old guys can come and get a pay-per-view and have more notoriety and interest than any current heavyweight, really. Deontay Wilder is, he don't have this much buzz, and there's just no other heavyweight, like that right now, and that's sad for boxing, really.
It is. It tells you what people are longing for. It tells you what people miss. People want the heavyweight division to make a comeback. We are here for heavyweight boxers. We don't want to see little tiny men fighting, you know.
Somebody, I saw it up here earlier. I had it. I think it was Chris P. asked who I think is going to win. So I think that Tyson has the better chance to win if it's in the first 3 rounds. After the first 3 rounds, if Roy is still around, then it's going to start to tip in his favor because of fatigue. Tyson.
Yeah, conditioning.
Yeah.
This is where conditioning takes over.
Exactly. And Roy has fought more recently than Tyson now. He's been knocked out and bad knockouts. Like Tyson has a few knockouts on his resume, but a couple of them he just basically quit on the stool. Whereas Roy Jones was knocked out and his lights was out. I couldn't believe it. So I'd hate for him to get hurt by Tyson.
Right.
And Roy has been doing some commentating throughout the years. And sometimes he get a little stuttered up when he do his little commentating. So I don't know. I hope not. Now it's interesting. Like I got here, the rules is that they say it's not going to be any testing for marijuana, which wouldn't be if it wasn't an exhibition. They wouldn't have got away with. And you see Tyson smoking a joint while he's signing the paper. Now, originally Tyson said he didn't want any money. He just wanted to fight because he could. And Roy was complaining that the money was lopsided. Tyson said whatever he get, he going to donate to charity. Well, now it's coming to find out, I believe, that Tyson's getting $10 million and
Yeah.
Roy is getting $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
It's
huge,
lopsided, but
yeah.
it's lopsided, but it's still $1 million. I'll go take a punch in the head from Mike Tyson for $1 million right now.
You okay? In a way, you got a point, but we ain't took as many punches in the head as Roy has already, too. So
That's true.
yeah,
That's true,
he might
but
not
he's
wake
also
up.
49. Like, this is still not bad. Not to say that, like, if he thinks he's worth more, he should fight for it. Just like, Monique, if you know what your worth is, nobody can tell you what it is. But, it's up to him to decide. Or, I don't know if he had a manager to go in and negotiate this deal. I don't know. So, yeah, if he can get more, he should hold out for it. But and he's not the average person. He doesn't live the lifestyle that I live. I mean, I'm sitting here, I've got my piano, and Jay lent me his old crib. It's nice, but I'm sure that he's used to living a little bit better than this. So
Hey man,
yeah,
I don't
he should
mind
go
the
for what
share.
he's worth.
You told me you was in
I
town.
appreciate it.
I left the keys for you.
I appreciate it. Left the light on for me and everything, like Motel 6.
So you know it, man. We look out for each other.
We do.
Now let me ask you all in the audience this. Do you think it matters that it's gonna be no marijuana testing? Do you think that it should be, or do you think it don't matter? It shouldn't be. I'm interested in what you all think. Um, Me personally, I don't think it should be. I don't think it make that big of a difference. I don't think it's in your best interest if you an athlete doing that and you not taking care of yourself the best way possible. You can argue the health effects or whatever, but smoking anything and then trying to run or fight somebody is probably not your best interest. But if you a regular person
Yeah.
sitting on the couch, it's different. So I wonder,
Right.
yeah, what do you think about that before we hear from everybody?
I don't have an opinion one way or the other. Do we know? Does Roy Jones participate in smoking
Um,
marijuana? Do we know?
it seemed more that Mike Tyson was interested more in it from
Well, I know that he is, and I'm just saying that I think that if they're not going to test, then leave it up to Mike Tyson. Do you want to be, fighting somebody who's not been smoking? You're neither one of you are spring chickens at this point. I think leave it up to Mike. He's getting the money regardless. So, and he's got the bigger check. There's nothing truly at stake. Their records aren't at stake. So it's up to him. A fun time will be had by all, and everybody's getting paid. Everybody in the ring is getting paid. Are they getting paid what they ought to be? I think that that's kind of more so what they're focused on. So I don't have a thought about it one way or another.
yeah, that's true. I don't think Mike is gonna donate that 10 million no more. I
Like
think he'd have
a
changed his
portion
mind.
of his proceeds to charity, but 10
Right,
million is, a lot of money.
right. Little John, you got a good point, and that's what makes this kind of a comical fight night. Is that they got a former basketball player, the shortest player to ever win the dunk contest, Nate Robinson, is going to be fighting a YouTuber,
Hmm.
Jake Paul, I believe.
Yeah, one of those
And,
Paul brothers.
yeah, and it's another fight that's going to be on there. So that's kind of like what I can't remember right now offhand, but um, yeah, I don't know. Nate Robinson, he'll probably beat this dude down because of just his conditioning. But this YouTuber dude, Jake Paul, has been trying to take it serious from what I have heard. I know he
Hmm.
fought another YouTuber and it was kind of pathetic from what I heard, and he lost. So we'll see what happened
Hmm.
in his next go round. Um, so Roxy said we won't help. So no. And Lady V say it always slows you down. So
Yeah,
may not be
that's
yeah.
If Mike comes through and knocks him out, he'll be fine. But like you said, I think that regardless, I mean, at this point, he can stop smoking. I don't know what I mean. Now he looks like he looks pretty healthy still. So I don't know. Is he smoking weed and hitting the gym? I don't know. I just think kind of if he's not able to knock this man out, and I would say in the second round, just my guess. I know you're saying after the third round, it's definitely going to be a problem. He just kind of needs to be focused on knocking this man out if he wants to win. But I think that overall, the main winner is boxing, because boxing has been taking a lot of L's since Floyd Mayweather has been at the helm of it.
Yeah, and he had hyped up that Manny Pacquiao fight, and then delivered such a snooze fest, that I think that kind of hurt boxing as far as pay-per-view. And so in a way, it kind of made this fight a little better, because everybody know Mike Tyson ain't about to do no Floyd. Man, he gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Right. We're looking for the knockout in 32 seconds. That's what we miss. We miss, it's so funny to me. Floyd Mayweather, he gives you 12 rounds because he's dancing, he's doing all the, but like people like miss the pay-per-view. You pay all this money to see Mike Tyson take somebody down in less than a minute. Like, that's what we want, like you get your money's worth, kind of, you get the time, but we want the excitement. We want a power-packed punch that's going to knock somebody out. We want a real knockout, not knockout by decision. We don't want a technical knockout. We want a knockout.
Exactly. Speaking of quick and, decisive knockouts, Ronda Rousey rose to fame for doing that in the women in UFC, but she got exposed. So Chris P, no, she ain't fighting. She been in WWE
wrestling.
Yeah, that ain't real, because them
She's
girls
a poser.
in UFC, yeah, they realized that she don't know how to box, and they beat her up bad. So yeah, no, she don't fight UFC no more. She don't want none of that. My brother Ian from Cigar Talk, what's up? What's up? You say look at Joe Rogan or Wiz Khalifa. Yeah, but they both smoke and fight, but not necessarily on a professional level. Now I know, which is actually surprising when I found this out, that Joe Rogan was really into karate and was on like the cover of Black Belt magazine and all kind of stuff back in like the 90s. So I'm sure he can, but I don't think he can really go into like a ring with another person seriously. Yeah.
Neither one of them. No. They smoke and fight non-fighters.
Right.
I would be willing to take on one of those. I came up in Taekwondo fighting only men because there weren't women to fight. So when it was time for me to compete, I was only able to fight women in competition. So I was something serious because I've only been fighting men, getting my ass beat by men. Then I fight women. Oh, I got this,
Right.
But yeah, when you're not fighting fighters, it's really different.
That's true. That is true. And CJ got a point. Wiz Khalifa really ain't a fighter. Joe Rogan even had more experience than him. And Joe Rogan's really a comedian. Like Wiz Khalifa, a rapper / smoker.
Exactly.
I didn't even know he took a little Muay Thai, but at the end of the day, like he was 100 pounds. In the flyweight division, them little dudes be just swinging their bars and ain't nobody knocking nobody out.
Exactly.
So that's crazy. Now I got that other story I'm gonna talk about real quick. Let me go ahead and pull it up about Kobe Bryant.
Thank you for that, Jay.
Huh?
Taking me back. I said thank you for that. You're taking me back to my sports commentating days. I miss that.
No problem. Bring it on back. Now we all know and remember the unfortunate passing of Kobe Bryant. Regardless of whatever you think about him, it was a hell of a way to go. I looked actually at the autopsy information. I didn't actually see the photos taken, but if you actually have seen anybody out there autopsy, it showed like a human body front and then back. And I mean, the diagrams and things that's written on there, he was destroyed badly. I mean, it's horrible. So anyway, tragic way to go, regardless of that. But nevertheless, we now are hearing stories come out that former teammates, players, even Hall of Famers are not trying to slide in the DM of Vanessa Bryant. Now, she is very beautiful, and Kobe Bryant had a net worth of about 500 million when he died, and now she's probably in control of all. Ain't no probably, she is in control of that. So now you got a beautiful young woman worth a $500 million. Is it too soon? You let me know. When is too soon to come and try to see if she need a little tender loving care, a little TLC. I want to make sure you feeling all right there. But then, you need anything?
I have I have no real opinion, like no, passionate opinion about this. Yeah, it's too soon. It's too soon. I don't think that any time is ever the right time, especially if we're talking about men who were once his friends or even teammates. I think that should kind of be up to her to decide when she's ready to start dating again, if she's ready to start dating again.
Our teammates or former friends off limits?
I would think so. I would hope so. It seems like that would be right. But a lot of the times, and this is what I noticed, I told y'all I had that horrible audio on this video. That's my most watched video about Sam Cooke. When he died, as soon as Bobby Womack could, he married Sam Cooke's widow, showed up to Sam Cooke's funeral wearing one of Sam Cooke's suits, and then started having sex with Sam Cooke's daughter a few years after he got married. So, and
Bobby
people, there were a lot of people in my comments who, I guess we're not really thinking about the part about the daughter, but they were saying, well, a lot of men, if they die, they want their friend to be with their wife because, that's somebody they know and they know. And like, and I'm getting a lot of those comments. A lot of people have commented that over the, several 8 months that that video's been up. I'm still replying to those comments. Now, there is that school of thought. To me, that's a little bit creepy. So I just, I'm kind of with, who was the comment you just took off? I don't see her remarrying because she doesn't need security from a man. I think that if she wants to start dating, that might happen. She might want to, she's still human. She's still young. She has sexual desires, but I think that I don't see her necessarily remarrying unless she, and she would have access to billionaires, but I think that it would have to be some billionaire for her to get married again.
That way she know it ain't about her money and that they may actually like her. Because
she's been about the money, so she would know. She was about the money when she got with Kobe, so she would know. She should be able to see one coming.
But Kobe didn't have no money when they met. I mean,
that's not true.
He was an NBA
that's
player.
That's not true.
What do you mean? That's not true.
That he didn't have money when they met. He already had money.
It was his rookie year.
He already had money. He had money. Do you think that an NBA rookie is making more or less than the guys that she would have had access to in the barrios of Los Angeles?
That's true. I mean, she was.
She didn't know that he was going to become Kobe, but she knew he was something. She knew he was going to be more than what she was going to be without him.
Right. Do you know how they met? The story of how they met by chance?
I forget, something about a video shoot, like something we saw her. Yeah, like she was a video vixen. So yeah, I mean, was she on the way to becoming?
Well, it wasn't.
A multi-millionaire video vixen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying she knew what she was doing.
Right. When they actually met, for everybody who may not know, so Kobe rookie year actually. At that time, a lot of NBA players had rap albums coming out, and Kobe was one of them. Kobe, Allen Iverson, a couple other people had rap albums come out, and Kobe had one, and he was shooting a video for that rap album, his single, and she was in the video as one of the dancers. And it was his rookie year, and they met. He was only 18, and she was like 17 or something like that. And so they spent all the time together and fell in love ever since. You know, they were married like 20 years. So, you know, they was, you know, got married at a young age. But, you know, at the time, Kobe was like highly publicized, but he wasn't, you know, Kobe Bryant yet, you know, and didn't have.
Yeah, he wasn't Kobe Bryant, but she was always just Vanessa. She wasn't about to be anything without Kobe Bryant. So she needed that. Now, and I'm sure that she was relying more on the basketball skills than the flow, because Kobe, ain't nobody checking for those tracks that Kobe was spitting.
No, it wasn't. None of the NBA players. But they did say that Allen Iverson album was good, but the NBA made him shelve it because he was cussing, and it was like regular gangster rap, talking about killing people and cussing and beat downs. They like, nah, man, you can't release this, man. But they said that was good, and Kobe actually, I believe we could probably find it on YouTube. His video still on there. I'm pretty.
I promise you, I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on there. If anybody did, and yeah, Chris P. Kobe did go to the prom with Brandy when he was 18 and 17. Yeah, and I don't know, man. At that time, Brandy wasn't that cute to me when she was young. She just looked like such a young girl. So skinny and little. I mean, she was young, but like
her mother kept her in those braids way past the age that she should have. Her mother really wanted to, you know, have this image that she was just this good little Christian girl who sang, you know, a little bit of R&B music. But I hated that. It doesn't seem like that's who Brandy really wanted to be. You know, I hate how they do that. You know, the difference in how they do the girls and the boys. Meanwhile, nobody really knows any damn thing about Ray J until he has a sex tape with Kim Kardashian. But, you know, what about your Christian image now? You know,
right.
Girls always have to be the good ones.
That's true. That's true. I remember when Ray J was on the Sinbad show. I'm like, oh man, I remember him. Then I found out that he was Brandy's little brother. I'm like, damn, he was on the show before Brandy was.
I don't remember Sinbad having a show, and I love Sinbad. I just don't remember that.
Oh yeah, I used to love that show and watch that show on Fox.
Was it a like a sitcom?
Yeah, it was a sitcom. I'll pull it up. Chris P. It's hard to find that album. They never allowed him to release it, but if you able to, man, you'd be one of the few, because I think it's like really hard to get or hear. Christian said Brandy still ain't got it. I'm not gonna say Brandy. I'm gonna be like, oh, blah, 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 whatever. But she looks a lot better to me now as a grown woman than when she was young.
I think she's a pretty girl. You know,
yeah.
I've always for my taste, no homo. She's always been too skinny for my personal taste. But I've always she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl to me.
Yeah, it's a shame what happened with her in that accident, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was messed up.
More of a shame what happened to the other person.
Right, definitely that. Let's see. I'm pull up Sinbad show from 93 to 94. Yeah, this was my show.
I don't know what I was doing. I was in high school. I don't know how I missed it.
You was partying too much, having a good time, man. I
really wasn't.
I guess I had nothing to do. Right. I called all 8 episodes.
I was studying and dancing in high school. That's all. I was not that. They go
Ray J. Ray J was on there. TK Carter was his buddy. Damn, Ray J was 24 episodes. So this show, Sinbad, his sister or something. I guess she was on drugs or something, so he ended up taking care of her kids, and so that's why he had Sinbad and the little girl. He used to call her baby girl. Baby girl, what are you doing, baby
This is
girl?
like the before Bernie Mac show. This is like the Bernie Mac show before the Bernie Mac show with the light
Yeah,
skinned Bernie Mac.
yeah. They say he was a single foster father, so it was a foster parent. Yep, new to the game. He learns as much from the children as they learn from him. Yeah, I didn't know he was a foster. I didn't remember that part. But
I never heard. This is like I almost feel like you're punking me, like you made this up or something.
man, I used to watch this show all the time, man. I was salty when they canceled. It was a good show, and he always would be like Sheba baby, my Sheba baby, and that would be a picture of Pam Grier he used to have on the wall, whatever. That he put on his afro and be dancing or whatever. Yeah,
it's like the reverse Mandela effect. I like what?
Remember, Sinbad had a show. You missed it. Man, yeah, he did. He was rocking them Jordans with the sweatpants for real. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Now, I never saw that show, but I've seen him do that, like on every show. A Different World, Showtime at the Apollo. That was just his tease.
Man, Lady V, you ain't remember Ray J?
I remember Ray J.
Hey, I'm surprised that he was on 24 episodes, though. I didn't remember him on every episode. I know I used to watch it all the time. I don't know if I watched every episode, but yeah, it says right here, Sinbad was in 24 episodes, so he couldn't have had the show without him. Everybody else.
Nobody remembers.
Right, you can't have 28 and he was only in 24. Like, what happened? Oh, we was house sitting. Sinbad, hey, he went on vacation before episode and we took over. Like that.
They have Ray J on the phone with Sinbad.
Right. Yeah, Ray J, he was young. So if this was in 93, 94, I think Ray J is younger than me, but not by much. Let me see. Let's say what year. He was born in 81. So in 93, he was 12 years old. He was 12 to 13 years old on TV with Sinbad in the show. Before Brandy was on anything. Ray J was there first.
Never knew this was a thing. This is so
funny. Yeah, he was the first star. And he was on what? Sister or something?
Well, when did Althea come out?
That's what it is.
Wasn't that the show that Brandy was on?
Moesha. I think Moesha was a spinoff of Thea, if I remember, or something, wasn't it?
Was it? I never watched either show. I tried to watch Thea, and
I never watched the show either. Yeah,
and I never watched
Taxi was funny in that too, but that was a small role.
Who?
Mars Attacks, Ray J. He was a little kid. There was the only two black kids that wasn't scared of aliens. They gonna fight back. They supposed to go home and get on the bus. They mama was Pam Grier. Pam Grier been a part of his life a long time.
Well, damn.
She was there on the Sinbad show a couple times. That was his first appearance.
I did not know any of this.
Yeah, so the Sinbad is his first movie credit. Let's see. Enemy Within, Brandy with MC Light, I Want to Be Down. So I Want to Be Down.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was her first.
I remember him being in that video.
See, I don't remember that. I remember her being in a playground saying, I want to be there.
I remember that remix because I love those female rappers. I was never a Brandy fan. I love Brandy's voice, but I don't like any of her songs. She has 3 songs that I like. Full Moon and 2 other ones. I can't remember what they are. But anyway, she has 3 songs that I really like. But that I like the females rapping on there. I like Queen Latifah. I don't know about yay short, about yay long, about so big, about so strong,
Oh, that was
about this length,
I
about
forgot
this
about
width,
that.
about this. See, you're so that
And
that
then
was
it
the
kind
hype
of
part for
break
me.
down into a slower
About this
doom,
flow, about this hit.
doom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah. That's
boom.
it.
I
That's
forgot
it.
about that. And
That
it
was
was like
that.
he was just standing there in like a black and white
Yeah.
background type.
Yeah, they're all, it wasn't like a lot of dance. Brandy don't bring choreography or anything,
Man,
and
that
they were a
was
little bit older.
wow.
Yes,
I
yes,
forgot about
yes,
that as the remix with I Want to Be Down. And you
yes.
know, that's when
I
they were
love
frantic
her
about
voice.
remix because the very first rap remix ever was Can't You See with Biggie and Puffy and Total and everybody. That's the first
Hmm.
remix. And then
Hmm. And I
that was
love
in
Total.
95. Yeah, then everybody started doing remix. Let's remix. It's a rap remix.
Hop on this track. Let me get a burst. Okay, now I'm echoing. Do you hear an echo?
Nah, I don't hear Echo.
Are y'all okay? Because now I don't hear it anymore. That's weird. But
Alicia,
yeah, I
Alicia
was so
said
into
she ain't
that.
never heard that take on about Brandy. You a unicorn.
What, not liking her music? I love her voice, but I just feel like I never let me think. What are those songs? Can you look up Brandy's discography? I love Full Moon, and there was, I think, another song on that album. And then and I'll say Three and a Half, because there was whatever that song was she did. I think she did a song with Boyz II Men, another group of people. Love their voices. Don't I think I probably have 2 or 3 Boyz II Men songs I like. Um, love their voices.
I
The
like
one
their
they did with
voices,
Mariah
but I don't
Carey.
like their song selections all the time. That's some old high school graduation songs.
That,
Hey, that would be bumping in the car like that's some old ooh da da do da do.
that's not them, but I know what you mean. Motown feeling back
Right.
again.
That's what we sing at the funeral. It's so hard. You know how many times we heard that in the 90s at every funeral?
Yeah.
That was sad.
Did your friend that you killed, did he die in the 90s? Did you play that at his funeral? I'm just
The friend
curious.
that I
Was
killed.
that the
Oh
90s or was
my
that
God.
the 80s?
You
Was that the
you
80s you killed him?
you turned me in. Hey. She turned me in on live TV, y'all. That's why you can't trust nobody. Don't tell nobody your
You
business.
said it.
The friend I
You
killed.
told
What
me.
girl? What did you talk about? What friend? Which one?
The friend who committed suicide behind the shoes that y'all was teasing him about. Was that in the 90s or the 80s? I'm
Ah,
just curious.
he didn't commit suicide.
Oh. Oh.
That's why you gotta be careful playing the telephone game, folks. It can get confused.
Sounded like when I connected the dots the
Oh,
first time you told the stories that y'all jeered him into suicide. And I just wondered if y'all
girl.
played this song at his funeral. See you
I'm
at the
trying not to bust up
crossroads.
all the way
So
and
you
laugh
won't be
at this one, man.
lonely. See you at the crossroads. So you
Oh
won't be
my goodness gracious.
lonely.
All
I'm
right,
gonna say
for those
goodnight. I'm
wondering,
gonna
you
say
got Christian
goodnight.
over here talking. So I told an old story about how back when we was in kindergarten, I mean not in
Sorry,
kindergarten,
Cigar Talk.
in
Cigar
grade
Talk
school.
said suicide. Suicide.
It was a suicide. Hey, Cigar Talk, Ian, come on up, man. Come on board, brother. That was a good one, man. I see you in there. It wasn't the suicide. It was the suicide. He was suicidal after we got through with him. I never knew it. He never came and told us he was suicidal. I didn't see the warning signs. I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know I pushed him too far to the edge. No, let me stop playing, man. You silly, man. Y'all are funny, man. Anyway. So, as kids, we were bad and teased each other about everything. We breaking the balls, okay? And he came with some shoes called zebras. Okay, that was in 5th grade. It didn't matter what other shoes he got. His name was Zebra for life. Okay.
Which was very short after this.
So later, I learned after he had been out of high school or something that he had ended up being like a drug dealer or doing questionable things and ended up getting killed doing that. And it ain't because of suicidal behavior, but maybe the teasing drove him to go and want the better things in life. But the sad part is he was actually the valedictorian of our class and was very smart. So I don't know why he would turn to selling drugs. He could have just kept doing his homework and schoolwork, and I'm hearing the echo, but he could have kept doing that and got a great job. But anyway, don't say I killed him. I already got enough bodies on me. Don't put it anymore. I can't tell you where the bodies are buried. You worse than Tasha. I see you wearing the Tasha. You acting like her.
Is the feedback still bad? Because I turned my headphones off.
Yeah, it's echoing.
Okay, hold up. Let me turn them back on.
Messed up my joke.
That was a good joke. Hold up.
Hey man, no, but what was I looking at, Brandy? Let me see. What was her first thing? Let's see. What's the first thing she did? Moesha 96. Let's see. Okay, so she was in Arachnophobia in an uncredited role in 90. So she was on Thea from 93 to 94 at the same time Ray J was on
But
Sinbad.
he was on Sinbad's show.
So they was on the same show. I didn't watch Thea. I was watching Sinbad. So that's why I didn't realize they was on at the same time. That's tight though. Their mama had both her kids on shows at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But Thea, that didn't come on Fox, I don't believe, did it? That's probably another reason I didn't see it, because I didn't really watch. I used to watch a lot of Fox back in this time because I didn't have cable, and they had The Simpsons, Married with Children, and Living Color. Fox was the dopest back then.
In the 90s, it was
Married with Children and Living Color, Sinbad, Living Single. Man, Fox had about 6-7 hit shows on all at the same time. Then they blew up.
Was Martin on Fox? Was Martin on Fox or no?
That's a good question. It wasn't at 93, 94 though. I don't think Martin.
No, I'm just curious if it was on that network. That's all. I was curious. Now, yeah, I don't know, but I don't think wherever she was, it wasn't on cable. I think that it was on regular network television. It seems like it would be maybe was UPN a thing back then? Because it doesn't seem like it would be NBC, ABC, or CBS, but like maybe like UPN or WB. Was that a thing back then, or was that later?
Yeah,
it was on ABC. Okay, it was on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and, me and my friend used to argue about which station was better actually back then, Fox or UPN, before they became WB.
Okay, so UPN became WB?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because the Wayans brothers was on there around the time it became WB. And so I remember around that time, Martin was on Fox. I thought Martin was. I couldn't remember. I didn't think it was on NBC. I know it wouldn't be like back when I watched it. It was Fox 32 in Chicago, and it was UPN 50. And my channel 50 never came in that good on my TV. And then back then, you had to get up anyway. So I'm like, forget it. I just watched Fox. And everything came on Fox. I just watched it. I ain't changed it.
How convenient.
Yeah, hey, what y'all got is good enough for me. and I was watch Fox, only Fox. Now this is, of course, a different Fox network than what it is today. Before they became Fox News, for those who don't know, it wasn't always like that. They actually didn't even have any news
There's still
shows.
other parts of Fox. So there's still like that Fox, but then there's now the Fox News Network. And there's Fox Soul also, so they just
That's the way they gonna put all the black folks on the soul. Well, you soul brothers got your own channel now. Nobody will watch it, but hey, we gave you one, right? Daddy.
They're watching on YouTube. That's where my commercials are going, on the Fox Soul channel, because a lot of simple ass old ass people come watch me, so I may as well advertise.
Got Soul Train.
That's right.
The Soul Train. She say Channel 9 was WB. Cat for life. For life is another thing I meant to bring up about how his best friend went after his wife while he was in jail to get at her. But it took him a while though, but that still happened. We got brother Ian over here from Cigar Talk. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. Good to have you back.
Good to meet you, Miss Ty. How are you?
How are you?
I'm well.
How was your holiday?
Filling, very filling. I got fumes from the deviled eggs coming out of me now, like the last couple of hours. It's been atrocious. So I don't think I'll be able to eat for the next TMI. Never mind, man. Let me get
right. Good thing this ain't.
I'm trying to be funny, and then it just backfires. That's another pun, isn't it?
Right. Good thing it ain't 4D. We'll have to hear smell it.
Yeah. Count your blessings.
Right.
Good gravy. So what's going on tonight, man? We're talking about 90s television shows and what have you.
Yeah, definitely.
Got there.
Yeah, it just happens sometimes. I got one more story I'm gonna bring up right quick, and then I got a couple. I got a funny Instagram thing. I forgot we just started talking, and I forgot to bring this up earlier. So, all right, people are trying to be creative during the pandemic. All right. And, people ain't been able to go to the strip club and do other things. And so they done came up with this idea for fun. And I'm going to let this play. And then I'm going to let y'all tell me what you think about this right here. This is a new take on the paddy wagon, the Thoughtmobile.
Okay.
The party bus.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that looks like the dollar van. No, that ain't no party bus.
That's the COVID delivery service.
I was gonna say that's the clap van.
The clap band instead of the gap band, the clap band.
The Clapmobile.
What do you think about this, Ty? Good business idea, bad business idea, sick, stupid.
Good business idea. There's something for everyone. I would not want that, but somebody wants it, so hey, why not?
So is that a mattress in there?
Just a mattress.
That's what it looks like.
Lay in there and they just
rub up on you,
fart in your face or something.
What does it actually say on the vehicle? What does the sign say?
Yeah. The fan bus.
It looked like glam bus. I don't.
the only fans bus.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. The only bus.
I'm curious to know what that said. I was trying to read that.
It's more like the bus down bus.
Yeah, seriously. Well, hey, something for everybody. Somebody wants that.
Yeah, somebody will pay for that. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy. Now, Ty, I know you don't have no kids. Ian, you got some kids?
Yes, I have one.
All right. Now, the way things is going these days, we all pretty much part of the last old school generation. these kids today, man, where do they come off with saying this stuff? Listen to this. This mom is telling her son to get off the game, and this is how he talks to his mom about a video game. And how long would it have taken you before you choke slam him like the Undertaker?
Yeah, is Dad your father? No, he's your father, and he's not going to be too happy.
Then why do you act like he's yours?
Beacon. Smarten up and go to bed. You have to get up.
I already am smart. I'm going to 5th grade.
No, you're not.
5th grade.
You know what? You don't listen.
Oh, yeah, I am. You're not.
You're not smartening up.
Yeah, this is not a black household.
What are you, Mrs. Government?
Let's go.
Are you Mrs. Government?
The conversation's already gone on too long.
Why don't you listen to me?
Why do you act like Mrs. President?
I said to get off. I'm getting so sick of this every night.
Well, get on my face and I'll shut it off. Gee.
Well, geez, I say it nicely. Nathan, please. How many times have I called you? Every single night.
How's that nice of you?
Hey, go. I'm gonna talk with you. I want you out.
Yeah. Now I'm not shutting off.
Yeah, you will.
Fine, God.
Now it sounded like she was actually snapping and hitting him,
Dad, your father.
but she wasn't. He was like, "That's why I'm not."
What was that sound?
Whatever she was doing, it was ineffective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of back and forth that would never have taken place
Right.
between my mother and myself. I never, no.
Ever.
For real.
No. Or my father, you know, like,
Yeah,
okay, do it. Okay, done.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife would not tolerate any of that from our daughter. Like, not for a second.
My mom would have killed me, and my dad. Straight up.
Like I would have awakened in a hospital room.
Yeah, I remember my old man stomped out my N64 just because I was messing up in school. Like he literally stomped on it with his house shoes. Like, and you know what? Shout out to the Japanese because they took a licking and they kept on ticking. It still works to this day.
Right. It not like them cartridge
That's back when
consoles.
they built them to last back then. Shout out to Nintendo.
Hey,
Woo.
for real. I mean,
yeah, the house slipper dust star all across it and everything, but it still worked after. He thought he was doing something.
better learn it. Actually, it didn't. All it learned me is I'm
Wow.
Japanese products.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the
thought it was dope.
Japanese. Seriously.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing back in the 90s, you know.
Hey, for real.
Right?
The last, for real. No, yeah, my mom, man, she'd have been beating my ass in 2-3 different languages too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, seriously.
Dad took everything
Wow.
and hid it in the closet somewhere or out in the garage. I wouldn't know where it was. Like Indiana Jones looking for my little bag of possessions and stuff and find it. I feel like I done found the treasure.
Man, my homie's father, he would take a hammer to all of his stuff. He's like, man, I can give it to you and I can take it away. He would take all of his CDs, all of his games. Anytime he wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess participating in school or performing in school. You know, like he was like, yeah, like the money don't mean nothing, man. Like, and this stuff that I buy you means nothing. Just to let you know.
That's the type of
I've
stuff
never
I say.
had those issues. Literally, my mom could look at me and scare me into submission. I never had the talk back thing with me ever. With my dad either.
Yeah, I never talked back, but they beat my ass at an early age enough to know that if that's what you get and you didn't talk back, then it would be even worse. Like Lady B said, he been and woke up dead. He went to sleep, he was alive, but when he woke up, he was dead.
Yeah, I don't think I started talking back to my father until I knew for sure there was nothing he could do to me.
Yeah, that was like when
I still
didn't
there
no more.
And even still, like there was at that point, like it's a respect thing. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, my parents are both still very healthy, and like they pop up from Houston and come here and do something to me. Like when I was trying to get my mom squared away on StreamYard, I forgot she was having a little difficulty, and we were having a conversation about women. The question was, women, would you entertain the idea of dating or marrying a man who's bisexual? And so we got my mom finally squared away, and she's like, I asked my mom the question, like, well, since you're here, Mom, would you ever date a bisexual man? She was like, let me say this one time so everybody can hear. Hell no. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, well, but Mom, so I'm just poking and prodding with her at this point. And so she actually accidentally got disconnected, and because she was trying to go off on me. And so I said, well, look here, I'm a grown ass woman. I was like, she's not here, right? And she, and she wasn't. But, I've gone off on her one time like that. And it was in a joking way, but it was only because we were on the phone. I would never, like, no.
You had distance where you could try it.
Yeah. Like, if I'm on vacation,
right,
I'm in London.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah, now, you just brought up that about dating a bisexual man, which actually made me think of this show that I'm watching on HBO. And I think I'm gonna start every week just doing some live reviews of stuff I'm watching and tell people, about it. So it's this new show on HBO called The Industry. Okay. And The Industry, these guys are like international bankers over in London and stuff. And it's one black guy. Check that box in for me.
Yeah.
They got the one black guy and one black girl. Now she's the only American, and everybody else is English. So they all trying to adjust to being young in this banking internship. Now the black guy is gay, and it's a white guy that's also an internship that he's sleeping with. But the white guy lives with a woman that doesn't know he's gay or bisexual and is sleeping with the black dude. Now, in the last episode, they only on like the third or fourth episode. So on the last episode that aired, I'm watching it, and the black guy, they went to so the couple of the guys after work went to some type of party or some type of like rave or some type of club. And so they was dancing. The black guy is all worked up, but he leave and goes, and he's under the influence to the guy he's been sleeping with house. And the guy didn't want to let him in because he's saying, hey, shh, such and such is upstairs. He like, just let me in. And then next thing you know, he had him on the couch in a pretzel. And so I was watching this with another person here, and I was asking her, I said, how would you feel if you came downstairs and you saw your guy folded up? What would you all do?
I'd be physically sick.
She was saying pretty much like the same thing and shock type thing. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Clearly it's over, but I don't know that I would do it. I think I'd be too shocked to like really react. I'd probably literally vomit.
Yeah, I need like 3 college degrees to unpack that, though. That's a lot, It
is a lot.
Because for one, you learn something new about your partner that you didn't know before. For 2, they were unfaithful, and
3, in your own home too.
In your own home, jeez, that's like
there's a lot of levels to how bad that is. That's a lot of onions.
And your man, if you came down, Ty, and your man was the one, the catcher.
It wouldn't matter either way. I think I'd be equally disgusted.
All right, Rock, to answer your question.
I don't feel better about it just because he's giving and not receiving. Like, oh well, at least he was, like, no.
Well, let me put it this way: the reason I put that out there that way is because normally a man kind of acts more masculine to the woman, or he'd be like, "Girl, don't do that," or "Hey, don't what," and then, or "Don't make me do this or that," and then if he ever tried to be that type or say that, you'd be like, "Oh, so you trying to jump hard at me, huh?"
No, because there would be no more discussions between me and him, period. Like, it's just get your things and get out, or else somebody's leaving, at some point, and that's it. Like, there's nothing else to discuss now. Like, I'm done. I'm done at this point.
Well, is it the deception that pushes you to that decision, or is it the fact that it's being done?
It's all of it. It's all of it. It's all of it. The bisexuality is a huge thing. Like yeah, you're what? You know, like yeah, I can't do anything for you as far as that's concerned. That's a major problem because I'm not a man. So that's the problem.
Now, what if they came?
It's all of it.
Because there's also another show I've been watching that's on HBO right now. That's crazy about DB Cooper. If you all are familiar with that, I'll talk about that in a second. But so what if the person came at you and said, you know, these are my feelings and this is what I want to do? Would you think of it differently that way, or you'd be like, okay, that's great, but
yeah, I'd say you do it with somebody else. I'll be your friend, and you know, it was nice knowing you. This is not going to work for me, and I'm sure there's some woman somewhere who would be happy to, you know, be with you if you want to be bisexual, you know. But no, yeah, I appreciate your honesty and good luck. You know, introduce me to your next girlfriend or boyfriend, but I don't want to be with you.
Right. Ian, we got my lady Roxy over here. She's an aficionado of the cigar. She want to know what you got. She thinks you got a Maduro.
Yeah, if it's no, it's La Imperiosa from Nicaragua. There's the label. I'll drop it in the YouTube comments too. I was looking for a comment so I can just give her a direct response. But yeah, that's what it is.
Well, there you go. So not a Maduro, but
I had a Maduro the other night, though. I think I want to say, did I have a Maduro when I was live with you last week? I think I did.
Yeah, I'm with Alethea. She said people must be open. There are lots of people who have no problem with that. Allow people to decide. Yeah, because that's one thing that I learned when I put the question out there to my audience. There were women, and a lot of them were like, you know, a little bit younger than I am, not like young, like, you know, in their 30s, who were like, yeah, I would consider dating a bisexual man. Some women were like, well, we probably already have, but to know it knowingly, you know, is different than to have, you know, whatever is done behind your back, you just don't know. That's like asking a woman, well, would you, you know, be with a man who had a mistress? Well, if you don't know, you don't know, you know, do you want to be, you know, but sometimes if you're open and honest with people in the beginning, there's somebody who wants exactly what you want. You know, you tell some woman, you know, I want to be with, I want to have 3 girlfriends. I want you to be one of 3. Some women is going to be fine. Some women will be fine with that. You know, instead of like just cheating on somebody and going and, you know, doing your other stuff with other people, just, hey, this is what I want. And she might want to say, okay, well, that works for me. I only want a part-time man anyway, or that's great. I'm going to be with a couple other guys myself. And yeah, when we get together, we get together. But I don't understand the point of just not being upfront, because there's someone for everyone, I think, or maybe, you know, because they say, you know, there's less men than women. So maybe there are like some women who this is an ideal situation. Let's all 8 of us go and be with this man. And, you know, you be the first wife and I'll be the cooking wife. I'll be the wife that takes care of the children. For some people, that is ideal. It's not me. It's definitely not the way I was, you know, it's not what I want. Some people want that.
Well, it's not so uncommon in other parts of the world, too.
Right.
You know, it's just this
in other parts of the world.
More, yeah, they're just warming up to it a bit more now. Yeah.
Alethea got a good point here, and I actually had a argument with my nephew about this exact point. And this is the argument that I had, but first I'll read the comment for everybody. And she said that people must be open. There's lots of people who have no problem with that. Allow people to decide. And I agree with that. Now, the argument we had is we was actually talking about if you get married with somebody. It was actually an article or something that we had read, and then we argued about it. But the woman got married to a man, and then he found out after they were married that she was a prostitute or something in her past for like 10 years. And he was like, you should have told me. And my nephew was arguing the point that if you all were in love and got married, what difference do it make? And my point was, if you really loved him, then it's the same point. What difference do it make? You should have been honest and let him.
Give me your Carfax. That's all.
Hey, your car for real. Yeah, you know, and so I don't know.
I don't need to know everybody you got, you know, just
That's a tricky one for me because you and I talked on my live stream, Jay, about exposing body count. Do you really want to know? But when body count is mixed in your profession, that's where it's different. Like I don't necessarily need to know you've been with 50 other men. Like if I'm a man and talking to them, I don't need to know you've been. But like I think that it's important to disclose that I was a sex worker. Like I was paid to me that seems important. So I would want to know, if I were hooked up, man or woman. I think that people would kind of want to know that.
Yeah, and trust your partner to make the decision. Don't take that away from him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because if you don't give them that option, then you don't even know who you really with either.
Right.
Man.
But then, so do you have to disclose now every job you've ever had? You know what I mean? Like, so that's a little tricky situation because of the prostitution,
Exactly.
Otherwise, like, because we kind of said before, well, they don't need to know every person you've been with before or how many people, but this is different. That's different.
Right. I need to know if I might be getting Hep C or whatever.
Well, that could be a possibility anyway.
I mean, how many girls did we go to school with that were just really popular with the guys back in the day that are just Susie Key Homemaker now? It's cool. We're all young once. We do things that we probably wouldn't do now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were making money off it, that's a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just let them know.
Hey, Jazzy, Jeff, and Darnell, how are y'all doing?
Hey, what's up? Hey, Chris P want to know, is you supposed to use sex worker to be more politically correct?
I don't know. What's the difference?
Well, I mean, because there's lots
classifications of sex
things.
workers.
Yeah, exactly. You could be an escort. You could be a prostitute. You could be. No, I'm just saying that could escort, prostitute,
actor, those are sex workers.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, there's lots of things I think that people would just want to know. Generally, if you were any of this, let me know before I take you home to meet mom.
I know that's right.
Right. You don't want to find out the hard way. Yeah,
definitely don't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that it's necessarily more politically correct. I think that it just encompasses everything. Crispy. I don't know. I wasn't trying to be politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
CJ, why are you asking if I was a sex worker? Saying you didn't know. What the hell are you talking about?
Where do you see that at, CJ?
CJ put that in the comments.
I missed that one. Let me see.
Yeah, I didn't. What the fuck does that mean?
I'm looking through them now.
CJ, that's some more of your dry humor you trying to pull. What is this, man? CJ?
Yeah, I'm lost on that one.
She ain't think that was funny.
I mean, if it was a joke, I don't get it. And I like jokes, but
you might want to clean that up, CJ.
He said, you said it maybe as a question. I don't know.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah. See, CJ, you was just talking about getting your comments noticed. You get noticed for the wrong comments all the time, man.
I'm trying to read all the comments and say hi to everybody, who's coming in. And then I saw that and I'm like, what? Did I say that I was a sex worker? Because I don't even think I implied that I was a sex worker.
Eating too much cold cereal over there.
Right.
Everybody's
jokes don't always land the way they plan.
He's got a lot of well, he was on the show last time. Yeah, like boxes upon boxes of like Captain Crunch or whatever. Maybe the corn syrup gave him made him act funny.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm just asking because
Well, hey, we know what it is. Man.
Moving on.
Awkward silence.
Anyway,
let's go.
Man, a little
so Maduro, huh? You had a Maduro yesterday?
What's the best cigar to have after, you know, the 10th month?
Girl.
I like mine when they $2 for $1 and you open them up and put something better in it. Just after a moment like this, that's what I usually use. And it normally makes all the day go better and smooth and just forget all about all that.
That was good.
Anyway.
That was good.
So,
oh my gosh.
I was thinking maybe tomorrow I might stream a movie on Twitch. I still don't know what movie or show I might do. One movie I was thinking about is that movie Underwater. It's all right. There ain't too much out there right now to really check out. Anybody got any suggestions or any thoughts?
You know I don't.
Well, while Ian thinks for a second.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm trying to think about what's a really good movie I've seen recently.
Yeah, it's not too much being released right now.
Yeah.
But
won't be in this next year either.
Right. One of the things, couple of the shows that I'm gonna be doing reviews for next month is, of course, Power Book 2, the continuation. Also, Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm gonna go ahead and get into that. I'm gonna be sitting here chopping it up with everybody about that watch that drama. And also For Life. I got my For Life video almost complete. I had a few delays this week. And I'm gonna try to keep some more autopsy videos mixed in there as well. So, you know.
Okay.
Christian asked, have I seen the saga? Go ahead. What you say?
I want to ask, your name is Ian, Mr. Cigar Talk?
Yes.
Do you have a channel?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I need to subscribe to you then. Okay, I didn't know you had a channel. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I'm in the comments. You can find me there somewhere.
Yeah, I'll find you. I'll find you. Jay might just put your link in the stream.
I will.
That's what we do. A good host, looks out for people like that.
That would be nice. I'm also at Cigar Talk Podcast on Instagram. That's where you can find most of the updates for me if you want to. That's just like an easy one-stop shop to find where everywhere else you can find me, because I have like links in my descriptions and everything. So, but yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I started a Twitch channel. I'm still trying to figure all that out. And I have audio available on Apple and Spotify and pretty much anywhere else you find podcasts. So I'm all over the place.
Okay. I don't smoke anything. I just do you talk about things other than cigars, or is it just like you're smoking cigars while you're talking about stuff? What do you do over there?
A lot of it's the latter. I actually don't talk too much about like cigar aficionado culture. I smoke a cigar while I'm talking, so that's kind of like what the name is.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. So I talk about a bunch of different topics. Whether it's nerd topics like reviewing the latest Batman movie or whatever, or mental health related topics like Black mental illness. I did several episodes with a doctor/life coach friend of mine on different topics like hypnotherapy, managing career frustrations, leadership topics. I have a leadership series now with a friend of mine. She's an HR professional, so we did an episode a couple weeks ago about how to handle a confrontational or difficult coworker. I'm doing another show with her on head leaders versus heart leaders sometime next week. I just did an episode with that doctor friend I had mentioned on dream interpretation. That was a big one. Also have a Black business series. The first episode in that series was the stigma around Black-owned businesses. How do we change the narrative and speak ourselves into power? I did that with a few Black entrepreneurs that I know personally. We did a follow-up episode to that called Black-owned business resources, where we shared like a bunch of like different free resources that Black entrepreneurs can tap into. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I don't like to talk about just one thing. I talk about things that interest me.
Okay, I see. I just subscribed. Okay.
I'll put your link in
there's
there too, man. Help.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like
yeah.
Mama
I
Todd
That was
gave
a
me a
long run
whooping
on
right
sentence.
quick. I said Mama
Totally.
Todd gave me a whooping right quick, so I make sure
I
put it in
mean,
there. I ain't want to forget.
you know
Style,
how we
man.
do. You gotta be a good host. But no, I was thinking. I was thinking. Oh, you're welcome. Because I'm thinking that I need to connect you with someone who came to my channel. I have a mental health professional. She's a therapist in Kentucky, and we were talking. We took the subject of Wendy Williams and watching her fall apart as an opportunity for her to do an analysis of her, what she believed she saw in her, and then we just had a wider discussion about Black mental health. And people got called in with their questions and everything. But I think like maybe the two of you should be linking up, and like I can see y'all doing a live cast about how to manage microaggressions in the workplace for Black people, or just whatever, just something along those lines. So
Thank you.
Y'all need to know. Yeah. Well, and we all need to know each other because like we're all doing stuff. So
absolutely, I gotta find you too, and make sure
Jay will put my link in. I'm sure. I know he will. I know he's already working on it. So don't worry. Well, it's gonna come.
That. But yeah, the Wendy Williams thing is interesting though. The term trauma bonding comes to mind.
Trauma bonding. So serious trauma happened and then they bonded, but if trauma didn't happen, would they really have been a good match type thing, huh?
Right.
Yeah, it's more commonly known as Stockholm syndrome, but you got to wonder, like, the relationship she had with her husband manager. Obviously we'll never know the truth because they have two conflicting stories, but there's a lot to unpack there.
Right.
Just how they got themselves to a certain point of success, but then they start sort of living separate lives, and they didn't want to call it quits because they had a system that worked for them on a business level. There was a similar thing with Mary J. Blige and her ex-husband. Because she gave him access to all of her money and let her manage her and everything. It's tough.
That's something that I actually preach about on my channel, and I probably come from a bit of a different standpoint than you do on it. When I talk to Black women, I preach against them marrying down or marrying the help, because those relationships just never end well. Marrying some man and making him your manager, like you're Mary J. Blige. Why are you marrying some man and making him your manager if he's not already managing acts who are as successful as you? And then we watch these things end in divorce, and he walks away with half of your earnings or whatever. Kendu had a crazy ass list of stuff that he wanted, I get it. Like if you're supposed to maintain your lifestyle on the salary of the person who was the breadwinner, I get it. But when you're telling me that you need, what was it, $3,000 a month for a trainer? Kendu, you wasn't training while you was with Mary with your fat ass. Like, stop saying that. Now he got
to get a new Mary, so of course he need that.
Well, I guess so, but see, that wasn't part of his original lifestyle. So yeah, I just do believe that it's a disservice for any woman. We don't see it just happen to Black women. When white women marry the help, it's the same thing with them. But we see more Black women who get to that level of success marrying the help. Kelly Rowland is married to her manager.
I just think they're doing it the wrong way. Men will marry the help, but the women will elevate and start to be a man. They can do or want to do certain things, whereas you may be with some of these guys and you trying to get them to be a man. Maybe they ain't manager material. Like I give one person credit, LeBron James. He didn't just give his boys money. He helped elevate them to now they all are successful on their own and, empowered. Like an old saying, if you give a person a fish, you feed him for a day, teach him. So like if we in love and we working together, then help me so I can stand on my own too and help support you even more, or if I'm with a woman and she ain't got the job that I got, I'm gonna help her to get promoted and be a supervisor or, this or that. Cause at the end, our household grows. I'm not gonna be like, well, you're not a supervisor. How can I talk to you? Or this, that, or the other. But a woman that was a supervisor wouldn't date the guy that's the unloader or the loader. But
I would
don't
not.
you know I may be a supervisor next year? But then I'm not gonna mess with you because
Then
you
holler at me
played
next year.
But no, you
Yeah.
played me. You I see
It won't
who
matter.
you are now. And so that
it wouldn't
sometimes
matter
backfires
for me.
on successful women because they sometimes think they're better than somebody, or that the situation you in now is the situation you will always be in. Pick
But
somebody
sometimes
with
they are
goals or
better than
ambition.
them.
Yeah, but they picking people without the right ambition or goals, and then they
Yeah.
hoping that they do. You can't do it that way.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think that, like, especially at the age like Mary J. Blige when she married Kendu, I think that like at a certain age, okay, look, y'all are both just graduating college. Then yeah, neither one of you has anything. Neither one of you are established, you know. So at that age, yeah, it's okay for a young woman to come up with a guy. But if you're, you know, 35, 45, 55, talking about marrying somebody who's coming together, he's figuring it out.
Yeah, Mary
that's not working for grown ass women. Mary was well established, so she should have had a man who was too.
Well, yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Well, I guess for successful women, it's tough because it's slim pickings out here from the dating pools, and a lot of people do tend to date, you know, or connect with people that they're around. You know, I don't know what the social circumstances were, but to your point, there is a difference between, you know, helping position your spouse for their success so that you can both grow together, as opposed to just, you know, giving them a gimme and just letting them, you know, tap into that pool. You know, you can make that argument about a lot of women, and some people, I would argue that some women or some, you know, women in that particular position maybe don't shy away from that. Like, and this is no shade, but look at like Nicki Minaj and her husband, for example. You know?
Yeah,
you know, like
that's a perfect example.
Nicki has never been with anybody that's like on her level, with the exception of maybe Nas.
She has not.
For like 5 seconds. But yeah, all of her long-term relationships,
and I think that was a stunt.
That are, you know, either fresh out of jail or in legal issues, or somebody that she can keep their foot on their neck if they act out. You know, like you know, if her husband act out, like he can be gone. You know,
you're out of here.
Yeah. And
now, what about this though? Do you think this could have been equal footing?
No, just because of the height alone.
Yeah, the height difference.
The height alone.
That will never be equal footing.
Never.
Especially when you get shot at
she was silly for this. I mean, I can't imagine the sex is all that great, but if the sex was, that's somebody you fuck and you move on. You don't try to make a relationship with a dusty like Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
She was, I don't know what the hell she was thinking.
He probably had a mouth game. Probably some good mouth game.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
What'd you say, Jay? I missed that.
I say he made up for them inches where it counts.
Okay, that's the same thing that that Ian said.
Yeah, that's
maybe so.
Yeah, that's a weird situation though, because
it's very weird. Just
because he was messing with her homegirl at first, right? Something like that.
That's what they're saying. Okay. That's what they're saying.
It's all trash.
Like I haven't. Yeah, it's a bunch of trash. It's a bunch. I can't. Yeah, I can't get into the details of it. Just do what is going to be done in the court system so that I can talk about the verdict on my channel. Yeah. I don't care that much. Like, you know,
he just wants to talk himself into the penitentiary doing all that talking. That's all.
That's what it seems like. Okay, how about this generation? They snitch on themselves so much, but it's like they do it out of pride, and then they end up in jail, and then all their dusty fans are on Twitter, free my nigga so and so. Like he got himself in there. Like no, like let him stay. Like I don't want to talk about this person anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody needs friends, but yeah, I feel you.
And she said that he ended up trying to offer her money not to say anything. I mean, she already had money, so how much could he have offered her to not say you got shot?
Serious?
Yeah, that was silly. And I do wonder how much money she really has, because all of her, you know, she has the social media following, but all of that doesn't necessarily translate into sales. And I haven't really heard, I've heard the buzz about her new album, but I don't hear much about Megan when it comes to record sales. So I don't know how much money there really is. I'd imagine she has more than him because of the team she's on, but I don't know. Like, we don't truly know what these people have, you know? Well, we can assume she has money, but she probably has more than I do.
It's one site.
She probably has more than I do.
It's
I don't know
one
if she
site
has,
that I
you know, a
use.
piano like this, but
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she'll be fine when it's all said and done.
yeah, yeah, she's not gonna be begging on the street, that's for sure.
Yeah, she'll be
She's not
okay.
gonna be begging Megan.
Nah, I think once she's able to start doing shows again, she'll be just fine. Because I imagine that's where a good chunk of her income came from, was that show money. Because she puts
Like
on the
most
show.
performers,
Yeah,
like most performers, and I think that that's why a lot of them are getting so caught up in this social media BS, because I do believe that fame is a drug, and so like they don't have the access to their fans, they can't do the stuff they were doing. So like, let me just wow out and start trending on social media so that people will talk about me.
Let's stay with that for a second. Let's stay with that for a second, because it is interesting. I think that COVID really exposed how a lot of the entertainers we tune into, how close they are to living from check to check. They really are, because you see
that's why they're starting
Yeah.
OnlyFans pages.
They
Like
spend too much
regular
money.
broke ass
are
people
hopping on OnlyFans and trying to, like, you know, generate income that way, or hop on the Versus bandwagon now that it's been monetized and everything. They're doing what they can to keep themselves
YouTube
afloat.
channels now.
Yeah, and
What's
every
that?
rapper's got a podcast now. Like every
Right.
rapper.
Podcast, YouTube
Yep.
channel. Because
making it
they
hard for
have
people
high
like us.
overhead.
YouTube was created for us. We're not people with names. Why the hell does Will Smith have a freaking YouTube channel? What the fuck does Jennifer Lopez and Kim Kardashian need a goddamn YouTube channel for? That's for us. Like, you know, and then so of course people just run because, oh, the name. Oh, I want, like, you can watch these people on network television. Why are you here? Like, taken away from us.
Well, because they're
Crazy.
fighting for people's attention. Like, if you look at somebody like Will Smith, like, he had like a lot of duds, you know, like box office duds, like over the last 5 or 6 years or so.
Netflix route.
And yeah, but he's not like the $20 million a picture guy anymore. Like, he can't justify that.
He's not the man who owns July the 4th weekend.
So
anymore.
he needs to be likable on social media to keep his brand afloat. You know, that's why he's embracing, you know, Jada's thing with the Red Table Talk and everything, and, you know, putting more of their personal business out there. Huh?
Yeah, he couldn't really snap at that Red Table Talk either, or else he really looked bad.
You can tell.
Yeah, he's got to be the good guy. He has to be the good guy.
Oh, there was a video out of him, like I saw, like on Tasha K's channel or something, where Jada just had like the phone in his face, and Will was like, "Man, why are you recording me right now? I didn't give you the okay to record me. I'm standing here in my kitchen. You know, this is my personal time. Like, and you're messing with my image right now. Like, turn that off. You know." So you could see like where some of like the conflict in their relationship is, you know, because there's things that she's okay with that he's just like not so comfortable with, you know, and vice versa. It's interesting.
I got it here.
Wow.
MEG the Stallion net worth is around $3 million. But a lot of these people spend so much money, and they live such a high life and renting this, paying this, bodyguard this, staying here, travel this, do that.
Right.
Management. Got a lot of people in their pockets too.
Yeah.
They Manager in her purse. She has Rock Nation in her pocket right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she still has to tie up her issues with Carl Crawford. We still don't know what's going to come of that, because she got away from them, owing them 4 records. She had a 4-album deal with them.
Yeah. I thought they worked that out quietly.
Has it been settled already?
I'm not 100%. I heard something about it somewhere.
Okay, I didn't know that it had been settled. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure she would have dropped an album if it hadn't been taken care of.
Man, we got CJ talking about Bad Boys for Life was trash. I actually liked it. I would give it a 6.5, 7.
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta check it out.
I'm not gonna see it. I never saw the first one.
Oh, come on.
I barely remember. You know what? I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I barely remember the first 2. I may have seen them both like once a piece my entire life.
I never saw them.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. I saw that at the movies. You're making me feel.
I never wanted to.
Making me feel old. He talking about he don't even remember it. Jazzy Jeff, $3 million. He thought she was worth way more. She ain't been out though that long.
Ain't nothing to sneeze at. She's only been out for a couple of years. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
right. And like half the time we've been in COVID. Yeah, it's more than I'm worth.
Money and assets,
I'll take
that's
it.
not bad. That's not too
But
bad.
I don't spend the kind of money she spends either.
That's
Megan
the
Thee Stallion
problem.
has a new, $300 wig on every time you see her, and wardrobe, nails out to here, and like that. It costs to live the lifestyle that, like, it's just funny watching these celebrities who like they're just getting by because of their lifestyle. Like if they live your lifestyle, they'd be on easy street. But they have their lifestyle and they're just getting by, but like out here flexing on their fans. Like, you can't even see this. You can't even, my pants cost what your whole mortgage costs. Like, yeah, but,
And making people that can't afford that lifestyle spend all their money to buy an outfit or a shirt to feel like they are living.
They've never made me do that, but it does influence people in that way, which I'll never understand. And I'll never understand people taking to a rapper, rapping to them about how broke they are. Nigga, you wish you would get up on these. Excuse me, I'm buying your music. You can only do that stuff because I buy your music. How dare you flex on me?
Mm-hmm. That's true. And Roxy got a good point. Net worth versus cash on hand is totally different. So yeah, net worth is if you everything you own have to your name, if you liquidated it all. So
even still, that much cash. Net worth is nothing to sneeze at. All the same.
No.
Yeah, it's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. Now this is the difference. She wants to be a singer and a celebrity. But if she was trying to get money and then be done and live the rest of her life, she can buy a McDonald's. And
she's already looking into opening some healthcare centers because she's in school for health administration. Yeah. So she has an exit strategy or another plan for another stream of income. She's not an idiot.
Yeah, so that's smart.
She will be just fine. I think.
Yeah. She'll be fine.
She's purging all the bad blood out of her.
She's young.
$3 million.
And she's dealing with all of her parents dead, both parents and her grandmother, who she's close to. She's really kind of running wild, and without everybody who was guiding her, they're all of a sudden all gone. So she's got to just calm down, settle down, and figure out how to navigate her way through what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, she at a young age, under 25, I believe, with $3 million that you can just make that invest and do different stuff. Like you say, help can do this, do that. That's enough to never work for another person the rest of your life.
I'd have been wilding out if I had that kind of money at that age.
Yeah, I would.
I think it's commendable that she's still in school. She doesn't need school now, but she still wants to, pursue her degree. People are, coming down on her because she's a C student. Yeah, she's a C student who's been touring and writing raps and, getting shot. Like, she's got a lot going on that I didn't have going on in school. So it's easy for, an average person to be a B and A student, but she's got a lot going on and she doesn't even have to be there.
That's true. And people always make up a C student.
Here's something that I always say: when you're in college, whether you're a B student or an A student, you get the same damn degree. So that's what I told my nieces and my nephew. Like, do not put pressure on yourself to get all A's. I'm my sister is a natural A student, so am I. But don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. All you got to do is finish. And you'll get the same paper. Nobody knows what your damn grades were.
I mean, we've had two Republican presidents in a row that were C students.
Well, we're not going to be president anytime soon.
I'm just saying,
people succeed without you don't even need a degree. You can succeed without a degree. And people, play down the importance of community college and trade school rather than, going to attain a 4-year degree or 5-year degree for, a lot of people and then get yourself in all the student debt. There are ways, that you don't have to do that. And you can get the same kind of money that a person with a bachelor's or even a master's has in some cases just by, going to trade school, going to community college, and then getting a lot of certifications in your field.
Mm-hmm. That's I like that you touched on that, certifications in particular. Like, go get something done for a trade, do it for like 6 to 9 months, and then you're in there. You can automatically make more money doing certain things. Like, Like my brother's going to school right now for HVAC. He'll be done in a few months, and you'll be able to do whatever with that. You can go to school and get like a PMP, a project management degree, and then that gives you a huge leg up if you're in a corporate environment.
Right.
That'll teach you the business of college when you're in high school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're trained to be in this cycle. We're trained to be in the rat race. You know, everybody said that the American dream was, you know, home ownership. And what if they taught us that the American dream instead was business ownership? And everybody looked at it that way. So instead of like going to school, whatever you decide to do when you get out of school, what if you went and obtained a loan for a business instead of a loan for a home? Then you get a loan for something that's going to make you money instead of a loan for something that now, like, I've got to pay this off or I'm going to lose my house. So like now I have this home that I got to pay for. So I better keep going to work for the next 30 years so I don't lose my house. So like we are like funneled into the rat race. And then, you know, you get old and it's time for you to die. So, you know, thanks for the work that you gave us. And we don't need to pay you any of these benefits because you're too dead to enjoy them. Like we're taught everything backwards. We're taught to be a part of this machine.
Well, they don't teach you about how you can leverage your assets like your home to help you make more money either.
Right.
You know,
Equity and all of that. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, especially in the Black community, financial education is very lacking. And it's really sad. And, you know, that's the real pain that still people are suffering from all the way back from slavery, because they got civil rights where people could be civil with each other, but they never got financial rights and financial equality. You know, and that was what really would have made this country better, actually, is if everybody could, you know, have opportunities to open up a factory or a business and get the same access to capital and things. But we know that ain't the case. And then certain groups are preyed on with credit cards and things at a young age and ruin your credit before you even get started, because you never had nothing. So as soon as somebody say, here's a free $500 on credit, you spend it up in one day, or $1,000 in the first day. That's what I did with my first credit card. I spent the $1,000.
I never fell victim to that.
No, I spent a decade.
I was lucky
from my early 20s. Seriously.
I was lucky because I had sisters. My sisters are 5 and 6 years older than I am. So I was a watcher, and I learned to avoid a lot of those things. I did get a few credit cards, you know, eventually, but I paid my credit card debt off completely in 2006 and never looked back at another credit card. But I didn't have a lot that I had to pay off. But yeah, my sisters taught me all about that. You know, their first week on campus, they got all the tables out, all the free T-shirts. Come and get your Discover card. You know, I bypassed all that stuff at the student center.
It takes some discipline and some patience.
Yeah, I was good with it because I had a good job, but then I ended up transferring schools and going to HBCU, and then I stopped paying the bill. Like, man, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I ain't giving y'all no money every month. Hey, look, we gonna have to work something out, bro. Hey, every little bit I get, like Bobby Brown going, every little step I take this way to this party, it ain't going that way.
Wait a minute. So being at the HBCU made you not pay your bills? That's like,
man, I couldn't get the same money I was getting in Chicago. So at Chicago, at 18, you know, I was already a supervisor at UPS part-time and had another job and other little curricular activities involved. So at like 18, I was making 30 grand a year at 18. Like some people didn't make that till they was like grown. I'm like 18, like with money and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And was in school.
I didn't go right to school out of high school. You know,
well, I did. I was in school at Columbia College in Chicago for recording engineering, sound production, and also for radio show, because I was going to do like a radio DJ radio show. And so that's what I was doing at first when I went to college for the first few years. And then I would work at night.
You went to school for broadcasting?
I went to school for broadcast. Yeah, it was cool, man. I really liked it. I'd be in the class, and then you'd put together your little radio broadcast, put together your commercials. You'd have everything in the pan, put together, queued up on the records, different little tapes or whatever set up. And then you put together the show, and it was like glass right here in front of me. And then everybody would be sitting in the classroom, and it would be speakers. So while you doing your show and playing the stuff, everybody be in the class listening. And like, you got to put your show together. You don't want to have any dead air or mistakes or this or that. You want to entertain, and I do my little show. I come in there, everybody be laughing like, "Dang, man, that was good." I'd be like, "Man, for real?" Like I didn't even think I was doing anything. I'm like coming in thinking like, "Man, I think I messed up." They'd be like, "Dang, that was good, man." I'm like, "What?"
Nice. That's cool.
Side note and shameless plug, I do have 2 episodes on my YouTube channel that some people may be interested in. I have one on how to repair your credit with a credit expert, and I have another one on how to buy your first home with a realtor / real estate investor friend of mine.
Very nice. I'll need to have you on my channel as a guest if you're interested. We need to do some type of live stream collaboration.
Would love to.
Okay.
Definitely. I actually was doing that as well in Chicago with Caldwell Banker, doing the real estate at the same time. In the daytime, I was starting to do that. And then when I was here, I was doing that as well. But I was doing it for myself. But yeah, man, I was making a lot of money, so I would spend up money. And plus, I was young, no kids, and didn't have bills, everything. So I was like, I felt like a celebrity or whatever. Play everywhere I go. I can say, buddy, hey, buddy, ain't a thing. Let's do this party. Have fun.
Ahead, Jay.
I had no bills to pay. Gas in the car. That's all I need. Let's go. And
I had my parents' money at that age. I didn't have my own money.
I never did that. My first real job was when I was 15, but I started working at like 13. But at 15, I worked at the shoe store in the hood. And they sold men and women's shoes. So, we had all kind of stuff. It was a Korean shoe store.
You was Al Bundy.
Korean shoe store?
Yeah. Well, you check what shoe size. They have Boy Jackson. You get Boy Jackson. I organized
so they weren't selling
everything.
Korean shoes. It was just a Korean-owned shoe store.
Korean-owned.
The people in the hood wanted to wear Korean shoes.
We had the Asian stores in Cleveland. They were just like, you would come in the door and you would walk in. They would act like they know you. You're like, "Fam, what's up, fam? How you doing, fam?"
This one dude thought he was cool. He was Mitch. "Hey, what's up, my man?" The one dude, one of the biggest dudes got the worst name. So he was like about 6'4", about maybe 325, dark skin, cool as hell. The dude that worked there with me, but his nickname was Boo. That was
Boo.
Boo. That's what you call this dude, Boo. You big 6'3", 325, chocolate mousse. Talk about call me Boo. Hey, I'm not calling you Boo. Hey, where Boo?
That's the name for a cute little girl.
Where my Boo?
What?
Who call it Boo?
So like the Black Lurch.
That's terrible. All right.
Call him if he was in the back and he called him.
You have to call him Boo.
Boo. Boo.
That's
terrible. I had to do my impressions. I'd be just mocking him as soon as he said, "Shut up." Boo. Those were the days, though. Mm-hmm. Young craziness.
Yeah.
Young.
Those there's nothing like that first job, man. Like the grocery store or the shoe store or whatever. Like, I've got stories I could tell forever off those experiences.
I remember one time somebody robbed the store when we was in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did y'all handle it? Like at gunpoint or?
No. She actually was stealing the shoes. A woman robbed, trying to steal the shoes.
She was shoplifting.
She was shoplifting.
When you say robbery, like
Yeah,
My
I'm
mind
thinking
goes
like
to,
hands
like,
up,
hey,
like
stick 'em up.
yeah, y'all get in the back
Yeah.
and give me your money, and yeah.
Open the register.
Right. Hey, Jazzy Jeff, I actually did work off the books at first. I was even working off the books at 15. He used to pay me in cash out the register with no taxes taken out. But
Those
I
jobs were
only
lovely.
paid $5
jobs were
an
lovely.
hour. Okay, I had like 25 pair of shoes on layaway, so I was actually working
free,
in
baby.
debt. I was.
You were spending it all
in
right
debt.
there.
He was working off his shoe fetish.
I had like
Exactly.
20 pair of size 9 hidden in the corner somewhere. And he was like, he found it like 6 months later. He like, hey, you can't do that. We wanted to sell these. I'm like, you did sell them. He like, no, we didn't. I'm like, I'm buying them. What you
Sounds
mean?
to me.
He like, we ain't gonna discount no 20 pair of shoes. He like, dude,
He's like,
you
for a
spend
week I've
all
been
your
telling people
check.
we didn't have any size 12.
See that little black kid? Hire him. Just pay him his shoes. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Right.
Like,
The one that,
all week I've been telling people we don't have no 12s, and we got 12 right here.
You know what I'm saying? And what's so bad is the one that called me and was talking to me is the one that used to say, boo. But he thought, and he was a Korean dude with glasses or whatever. That don't necessarily matter. But my sister was real pretty at the time. And like he used to think he had a shot. So he used to like try to be cool because he think he gonna get the shot with my sister. And I'd be like, uh-huh. My sister ain't about to give you nothing but a chance to put some shoes on her feet for free.
You in that
Anyway, this dude tried to take Jay. You spending all your money on the shoes, man. You can't do it. I'm like, man, it's my money. Like I felt like an intervention for Nike. I'm like, but it's not. I need these. I found them. I can never be a zebra. You don't understand. You don't understand.
You're trying to stay alive.
I'm not gonna go suicidal. I got to have them.
That was funny. Suicide.
I got to feel that one. That was suicidal. Suicide.
Yeah. Just delete that part of this stream, and we'll pretend like we made it up when we go on our channels.
Right. But yeah, man, they
heard it here first.
They was mad at me on that one. But back to the robbery, and I actually got into a fight with them in there too. If y'all want to hear about the fight. Because he disrespected me, and I don't play that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a girl. I thought it was a girl who was shoplifting.
Nah.
I beat that hoe ass. I said, no, you not.
Give me that damn high heel. Don't wear it unless you go wear it right, baby. So, man, I ain't paying attention to what's happening. And the way it was set up is like the men's shoes was in the front of the store. And like it was like curved to the right, and like the doors you come in, and then the women's shoes was in the back wall, all women like heels and stuff. So the main dude that owned the place name was Charlie. He back there working with somebody with the shoes or something. I wasn't paying attention. And most of us would. Next thing you know, now this type of store, you know they always have double doors, but always keep one locked and one you can open. Yeah. They do that on purpose because it's hard to run out sometimes. If you in a hurry, your mind, sometimes you may forget. And so next thing you know, I'm not paying attention. I see somebody run right past me holding the shoes like this.
Not as though they had just purchased them, I take it.
Right. You know, like it was like a ham or something up in there with that. And she hit the second door like, wow. Like, and so she hit that door so hard that dude is chasing her now. And he caught up to her, and she turned around and threw that shoe at Charlie and hit him in the face with the shoe. And his glasses went flying. And so then I'm like, damn, at first I thought she was drunk or something. I didn't know what was going on. I was about to laugh, like, man, what is this fool? And then she whacked him. So then I'm like, oh, now I'm really going to laugh. Now the laughter has been confirmed. So then she run out in the parking lot there. And this is a strip mall. So this is like a strip mall. So she out in the parking lot and he run and tackle her in the street. And this is a black woman and it's a Korean. Everybody is just standing watching. Nobody went to help her. Nobody helped him.
Of course. Nobody
did nothing. And she ended up getting away, but he got them shoes back. And he was like, he's like, hey, Jay, my man. Hey, my man, get the ice. I got the ice for him. His cheek was already wide, and now it was swollen.
Oh, man.
That's terrible.
Yeah, man. Damn. So many memories. Now, I'll tell you this, but this is quick.
Stories you can tell the grandbabies.
This is a quick one about how we got into a fight. I don't know what happened, but somehow he talking crazy to me. I'm sitting in the chair. He had like director's chairs type sitting along the wall. So I'm just sitting there chilling, and he's saying something. I'm trying to ignore him. And he like standing like, oh, what'd you say, pa? Huh? Like he tried. They act like they was black. Like they wasn't like no regular. They was like, thought they was black Koreans. And so he like smacked me at the top of my head while I'm sitting down. He like, psh. I'm like, hey. And so I grabbed him by the, I feel a little bad about this because he an older guy at the time, probably in his 50s, but I grabbed him by the legs and like dumped him like garbage. They had all these boxes and everything or whatever, and I'm at a seated position. You standing in front of me, so if I grab you, I got the leverage. And he just went tumbling. I threw him into all the boxes and everything. Then he tried to run up and like act like he gonna do some karate stuff. I'm like, man, I'm about to. Then boo, pulled up, and his belly kind of stuck in between us and broke it up. No.
Wow.
So that's why I say that one was a little short. After that, I probably didn't work there that much longer. I think that.
I imagine, yeah.
That was about the end of my days.
Yeah.
But what's so sad is, I remember, like, because I used to go and get stuff from them before I worked there all the time, jackets, shoes, all that, and my mom too. So they like knew me and gave me a shot. So when I was like, I'm about to leave, or they killed, whatever happened where I was on my way out, I remember they bringing this other dude. They like, yeah, we know him too. He real good. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So he worked there like about 6-7 months later. I would always go up there every now and then and talk or whatever. 7 months later, he come talking to me like, man, you want to get some shoes or whatever? I'm like, what you mean? He was stealing shoes from them and was selling them out the trunk of his car. And then he corrupted Boo to the point where they they put him out of business. They put the shoe store out of business. They stole that much inventory.
With the hookups.
Within 1 year.
Oh, not my man Boo.
Yep. And they was probably there for like 10 years. And then when like 1 year, they put that dude out of business. Yep.
Wow.
On board, Charlie.
And still getting their hourly pay all the while wiping out this man's whole inventory.
Dude,
you don't think you would ever become corrupted? You never would have done that? You wouldn't have fallen into traps of corruption? But I mean, if somebody, it never crossed Boo's mind until it crossed it. I mean.
But if I would have been working there, we wouldn't have crossed those minds together. Because I worked there for like maybe a little over a year. And so
you don't think you could have watched some movie and been like, Baby Boy is boosting clothes. Maybe I could. No. Okay.
Never.
You watch a lot of movies.
But I could have, because what they was doing. What'd you say?
What's that?
So Baby Boy is like one of the most underrated hood comedies ever.
I've never watched it, but I know that he was boosting clothes because I heard people talking about it in the beauty salon. Yeah, like that's what you do. Like you boost them, like you steal them, and then you go sell them.
I see you're an earth tone girl. I'm gonna get this green right here for you.
That's how he was selling them to the girls with gang.
They call me Jody Joe. My stuff fell off the back of a truck.
Now, Ian, he ain't Jazzy Jeff said served him right about the whatever my story. But Ian was I can't remember, but was and Baby Boy, was he stealing the clothes or not? I don't think he was stealing them. I can't remember.
I thought he was stealing them and then selling them. Isn't that what boosting is?
Well, no, he was purchasing from the people that were stealing them. I think he was.
Okay.
So like maybe you knew a guy that worked at like an outfitter store or something like that, and then he throw some stuff in his trunk. Jody would throw him like a couple $100, and then he would bang out the dresses for like $40 a piece or something like that.
So he's buying low and selling high.
Yeah. I mean, it's supply and demand. It's a supply chain of boosting. You know somebody who has access to the merchandise. They get you the merchandise under really shady circumstances. You give them a little Skrilla, then you get the merch and you resell it.
Oh, John. Okay.
Swap meet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And coming from Chicago, man, it's always what we call you got some type of hustle, which means anything you doing to get some money. Sometimes you got an illegal hustle. Sometimes you got a 9 to 5. So I done had all kind of hustles going on, and I was selling clothes at one time. My mom used to even sell clothes at fashion shows at one time. And when I was young, like I was really big into rap and breakdancing. And like at 5 years old, like I knew all the Run DMC Super Bowl shuffle. She used to have me doing like me and my friends doing the break
the Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah, like we would put together break dancing shows. Like I thought I was gonna be a rapper at like 5. Either I was gonna be a rapper or a football player.
Yeah.
You're talking the Chicago Bears glory days.
For real. I remember that.
Bowl shuffle. Refrigerator Perry. Oh my God.
The fridge, baby, the fridge. But
that's crazy.
Spinning on your head and everything.
Hey, you ain't lying.
Like a dreidel.
Hey. But that what you talking about with that clothes, I had a thing where I had a little hookup with the outlet that makes the jerseys and stuff at Reebok, the Reebok factory outlet, and they was making all the NFL and NBA jerseys and stuff. And so I knew somebody that worked there, and so they got a store for family and friends at the factory. Mm-hmm. And so like the jerseys that you see for $50, they were $5 and $10 in there. 5 and 10. So I go and spend like $200-300, come out with garbage bags and stuff. And I would be selling them to people I work with.
Of course.
I'd be like, hey, man.
That's still a come up.
Yeah. But I made me think about it, what you said with the Jody. Man, everybody ain't got the same size. You got to get this, that. They don't want that color. That shit was such a headache, man.
Because for women, doing it for women, you're saying?
It's probably worse for men because this was men. I mean, for women, because this was for men. Women didn't want no jerky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think that it would be worse doing it for women, like having to cater to our needs. I like it, but do you have it in turquoise? Like, no, girl.
See, that's why Jody was such a skilled salesman. He would seduce them while he was giving them the sales pitch.
So he's telling them that this goes so well with your beautiful skin tone or some bullshit like that,
that's what all salesmen
with
do.
your haircut. Exactly.
They're professional bullshitters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Whitney said, it sounds like I'm talking from experience. Like, no, I never boosted no clothes or anything. I'm going to make that clear.
I have.
I understand commerce. That's all.
I have. But I got scared, so I didn't do it a lot. But I got friends that did it a lot, and I would just pay them for the merch.
Yeah.
In high school, like how we was talking earlier about how people are influenced to try to get these clothes or whatever. Well, coming up in high school in my day, like if you wasn't wearing some type of polo or Tommy Hilfiger or a Nautica or something like
teased.
Yeah, like you looking like a bum. You looking dusty over here now. You got to have some type of nice shirt. And everybody couldn't afford them, or and them shirts is $50 and up, which when you in high school, that's a lot.
Yeah, my old man wouldn't pay for none of that. I remember one time I got a bleach stain on my blue jeans one day. I'm like, yo, I need a new pair of jeans, Pops. He's like, grab that magic marker over there off my desk. He colored it the bleach stain with like a permanent magic marker.
Oh.
and the naked eye really couldn't tell.
Oh.
He was that kind of dad.
Nah, my dad. That's what my grandpa.
That's why I started working so young. I had to buy my own clothes.
Yeah, my grandpa.
Okay, I didn't have that struggle.
Put duct tape on it.
Yeah.
My parents just bought me stuff. They bought me stuff, but I didn't have money, like so I could get things. But I never had money. But I never cared because I had the stuff I wanted.
My dad thought he was a baller, and he did do good. I mean, he did graduate and go on to be an advertising executive for one of the only black advertising agencies in Chicago, and make good money and do things. And he was the Brooks Brothers man, and he had me. I got pictures with a big ass part of a curly fro with a Brooks Brothers suit on with an M16 at my birthday, like with a damn Brooks Brothers suit with an M16. I'm like, oh, why? I hated that. I hated that damn suit.
Oh God.
So like it's like pictures of me with a big little belly and stuff with like a polo on and stuff like.
See, yeah, my dad, he was the tackiest man alive, man. He would have he'd have the short cargo shorts halfway up his knees with like the New Balance kicks and like a long polo, man. He was the epitome. He didn't care. Like, he was the quintessential dad, you know. And
I never seen my dad wear a pair of shorts. I never seen my dad move fast, like never run, never do a fast movement.
Oh, he was like Paulie and Goodfellas, huh?
I ain't never seen him hammering a nail.
Yeah, Paulie didn't move around.
Nothing. Like he would pay somebody to do that. He ain't climbing to clean no gutter. He got crackhead.
No, why wouldn't he wear shorts? Like, doesn't it get hot? Like, it gets hot.
I take it back. You did have one pair of shorts where you know them dad shorts that it start to ride up the middle between your legs.
Yeah. I think that's more because of the dad body than the shorts. I don't know if we should be blaming that on the shorts.
My dad body had skinny bird legs and this big old pouch for a belly. The whole thing.
Yeah.
He's the quintessential.
My dad's still pretty fit. My dad's pretty fit. Yeah.
My dad wasn't. Like I say,
My dad can
throw a football bat. I think he may have threw a baseball once or twice.
In slow motion.
Right.
Come on, Jay.
And it ain't like he was the biggest or the most. Just like I'm too cool for that, man. I ain't about to be sweating and this and that. Like, or like going to
my God.
or like the Taste of Chicago or going to the movies. Like, there's too many people. I ain't about to be up in there. All these people all around sweating on me.
Ooh. My parents used to get out in the streets and play with us in the summertime. All of our parents would. We'd all be out there playing kickball and football together.
So your dad was like Bugetto, as they say?
He's what?
Bugetto, like little booty. Well, I'm sorry.
No, I wouldn't say.
I mean, sorry.
No, he was
My
just
dad
fun
was
dad. My dad is fun.
My dad was bougie ghetto.
Okay.
Like, he was ghetto, but he felt he made it. Because, like, I even talked to him about it, like, today and stuff. And I'd be like, you know, because of prejudice, I asked him, like, you know, did you experience prejudice in Chicago, really? And he like, no. But I'm like, well, how is that? He like, well, we do not to go past Michigan Road. So I never went past Michigan Road. So I never experienced it. So, like, he had to, like, live a segregated life and never going there. So when he became an executive on Michigan Road and one of the biggest, he felt like he was like he made it. He the man. You know what I mean? I couldn't even go on the street. Now I'm an executive on the street, running things and this and that. I'm the man. Where the party at? I'm baller, this and that. I'm got 3-piece suits like the white man had, and I'm the man. I'm success. I made it.
He was a big fish in a little pond, in a small pond.
Yeah. And you know, it was like his dream, like how some people want to dream to be a rapper. Like he was dreaming to be a big man downtown.
That's enough for some people, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
I mean that is something to say in that day and age. I think we're probably all roughly the same age. So our parents grew up in a segregated America. So that's something, you know, my dad went to a white high school. He actually had to be bused out of his neighborhood to go to the black school his first year of high school because the high school that was closest to him was the white school. So he was like the black kid being bused to the black school. And then his sophomore years on, it was desegregated. So
now was this
he's always been around. This is in Houston, yeah. Wow. He's always been around, you know, white people. He grew up in a mostly white neighborhood, and my mom didn't. And so there were just things that they didn't understand about each other. She thought that he was very weird and whatever. But you know, but yeah, he was just always, you know, my dad's a fun guy. He just wants to have fun, you know, pay the bills. He's like, you know, you work hard, you play hard. That's my dad.
He kind of got that mentality. I get a lot of my comedy from my dad, but my mom got some funny stuff too. But she got jokes that like it's funny, but it got you to it cut. You'd be like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. My mom's not funny, but she says things that are horrible that hurt. So she cuts. My dad's pretty funny, but yeah, my mom, she can hurt feelings with her words.
Both my parents are funny as long as they not in the same room. Then they like, ain't nothing funny, man. What the hell? They arguing pretty soon about something.
Oh, well, damn.
But it's the type of argument that you know is coming. They know it's coming. Ain't about to be this. And it's the type of love-hate type argument. Like, that's how they get along. We need an argument about something. I told you, don't your blood pressure go up. Well, I know what you got to take the pill. The next thing you know, your dad told me. He said he's coming here to live with me. I'm like, why do y'all go through this? Y'all need the one doing nothing, going nowhere. Do like what? Just need a little, keep the juices flowing.
Oh God.
Keep the blood bubbling.
Yeah, my dad grew up in the hood, and he went to the army. Then he came home, went to school, and started working with like computers and stuff like that throughout the 80s, back when it was booming.
Your dad's a little younger than my dad. Computers wasn't really. And my dad was born in 1946, so he did go to the Marines, but it was during the Vietnam time, and he was journalist type thing. But you know, computer type stuff wasn't out. I mean, I guess if you really look for it, you could get into that at any time in the last 50, 60 years. So. But, you know, that wasn't, technically.
It's commonplace.
Yeah, it wasn't commonplace. So, you know, he did the advertising thing, which I wish I'd have thought about that myself. I could have just slid right on in and took from his connections and kept it moving, but it never even crossed my mind.
My dad's a Vietnam veteran too. He was in the Navy, and came home, and that's why he told me he would never ever wanted me to have any aspirations to serve in the military. He was like, I don't want any of the veterans.
My dad wanted me to serve in the military so bad.
Yeah,
and really. Well, like, and we're all girls birthday. You didn't call me. I'm like, well, it's not your birthday. It is.
We're all girls too, and I think that was part of it, you know. But he just said that it was just something he's like, you don't get enough out of it, you know, when you come home, especially after war, you know. Yep. So he's just like, that's not a sacrifice I want to see my children make, you know. So and he, you know, got out, went to school, engineering, and you know, the rest is history. But
my dad wanted me to go to the army so he didn't have to pay for college.
Oh, well, my parents paid for college. Give me a full ride, and that's why I don't have student debt.
I'm like,
I'm cool, man. Because none of us had student loan debt. They did pay for us to go to school.
My parents, they didn't pay for college, and I just got debt.
Yeah, I paid for everything.
Oh wow!
I didn't pay for anything.
Now my dad did.
I'm still not, Jay. And I'm still not, Jay.
I'm paying for school now. I paid for my wedding. I paid for the house I live in. We pay for everything.
I kind of had to do that.
Amazing.
Well, actually, I did, but I don't know. My mom, she pulled the okie doke on me. I don't want to bring it up in case she watching. I'm going to get in trouble. I told her she still be mad.
Let's not bring up family business.
You still bringing that old shit up? Oh, yeah.
No, it's a holiday season. Let's not even. Don't even go there.
Oh, okay. I got your ass. I'm just
don't even allude to it. Don't even allude to it, because she's gonna be like, "Oh, so you was thinking about bringing it up?" You know, like don't even talk about it.
Wait till I see.
Let me get to one of these comments. I just saw Chris P. He say he looking for a good series to binge watch. Is Luke Cage any good? Luke Cage is excellent. It's just that it stops before it's completed. So if you start watching it, you're gonna be mad at the end.
Yeah, they canceled all that when Marvel bought. Well, yeah, and plus there's been like there's like a beef between Netflix and Disney too. That kind of.
I have a suggestion for you, Chris.
It was good.
Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey. Go watch that. It's excellent.
Downton Abbey. You familiar with that, Ian?
Downtown Abbey. I've heard of it, but I've not watched it.
That's the same thing.
It's Downton. It's not downtown. It's Downton.
Oh, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no W on the second syllable. But yeah, and a lot of it, when your eyes are trained to see the words, so when you look at it on a DVD cover, it looks like Downtown Abbey.
It's spelled. I remember they say it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, DOWNTON. But if you read that, it looks like downtown, because that's what your eyes trained to see. Yeah, but it's an excellent show set in England. It starts on the day that the Titanic sank. And it's a whole big deal because it's set around this family of aristocrats, and they have 3 daughters. And the Earl, unfortunately, his heir was on the Titanic. So now everybody's scrambling around trying to figure out who's going to be the next Earl of Downton. And it's a big deal because his daughter, the oldest daughter, was supposed to marry the Earl so that they keep the money and the house and the family. It's not a house, it's a castle, in effect. But so it goes from there. And only this one thing I will give away, only young people die in Downton world. Like the oldest people are alive and getting married and having sex, but like it's the young people, like the 20-somethings who end up dying. Like the characters you really grow to love, like they're going to be dead, just letting you know.
Young, beautiful people you get attached to.
Yeah, exactly. The prettiest daughter of the 3.
Emotional response.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, made me very sad.
Yeah, that's crazy. Chris P also brought up Fargo. Now they on season 5, but this is the thing with Fargo. Each season is a new show. They just carry forth the same type of theme. So
it's an anthology series.
Right.
And okay. So I can just hop in.
Yeah, so just go to season 5 because it's on now, and Chris Rock is the lead. And it's actually good. I've seen the first couple episodes. I would like to crank out more stuff. I just can't. But what is good about this and interesting, it actually made me do some homework and look it up, which is not exactly accurate. But it was showing how Chris Rock character and his partner came up with the idea of using credit cards and banking. They was trying to come up with it and trying to use credit cards and the idea of it, and they were trying to partner with a bank and things, and it was showing how a lot of ideas and things people of color came up with that of course was taken. And I mean, imagine if a person of color owned a credit card company. I mean, credit cards would probably be really demonized more than it is now, but just imagine the wealth that could have been created. People of color in this country own less than 1/2 of 1%. And so that Fargo, like I say, I was trying to get into it. I didn't finish it all, but it's good. Chris Rock is doing a good job. He not no goofy. What is that? Got cheese? And doing that type of stuff or whatever. He actually a little serious, and it's pretty good. Check it out if y'all haven't seen it. Fargo season 5.
I do want to watch that. I do want to see it.
me start.
Yeah, let me pull up a little bit about it right quick. But yeah, if you
I know
all,
Jazzy Jeff, me, my bad spoiler alerting. Yeah, sorry y'all, the young people die if y'all are interested in Townsend.
well,
I almost spoiled Luke Cage when they brought it up. Like, let me not.
yeah, that's why I just say y'all gonna be
Yeah.
mad that y'all don't get to see the rest. But I ain't wanna.
I was mad in the first season because Marvel, like, generally, at least with their Netflix TV series, they have like it's very formulaic where like they build up this great and then they axe the villain like in the middle of the season for no good reason after you build up this great like villain, with the exception of like the Kingpin character and Alfred Woodard's character in that series too was really good.
Oh,
She should
Alfred
have gotten
Woodard's
Emmy
in there?
for season 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's always good.
She was
Golly,
excellent.
she
She
is
was
good.
actually Mahershala Ali career blew up because of that role in Luke Cage, I believe.
You think so?
Man, he did a damn good job, and everybody was mad about the writing around that. I ain't trying to say too much, but
Right. Yeah, he was a great villain.
he was, man. He was really
I don't know.
smooth, man.
It's the nightclub and everything, and the Biggie King of New York portrait. And
Hey, that was a nice little touch right there.
then all the jazz stuff that they incorporated into the character.
Yeah.
Cottonmouth was a good character. Yeah.
They was, and they even admitted that they had miscalculated
That was
how
a
they
mistake.
played that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mahershala.
Yeah, Alfred is a legend, Jazzy Jeff. I'm with you. Facts.
Yes.
Hashtag facts. That woman can act her behind
But
off.
check
Oh
her
my
out in Luke
God.
Cage season 2.
So underrated.
Dastardly villain. Dastardly.
Yeah. But I don't like that they made her the villain, though. She did her best, but I can't see her as a badass, really. Not like against a Luke Cage and like I think they made a miscalculation getting rid of the Jamaica boy. What was his name?
Bushwhacker or
Bushwhacker. That's him.
Bushmaster or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. That was a little too soon as well, I think, in my opinion.
Did you say Bushwhacker?
Something like that,
Something like
yeah.
that, yeah.
And I'm saying that because I had not thought about Married with Children in years, but that reminded me of when Bud was that the younger brother's name? Kelly's
Yes.
brother? Was his
Yeah,
name Bud? When he went through his rap phase and he was Bud Master B.
Grandmaster B.
Yeah.
Kelly, I remember one time Kelly called him Bushwhacker B. They all like gave him like these stupid names because they didn't know what the hell his stupid rap name was, and that was the last time I remember hearing the word Bushwhacker.
He was
Like,
B-Rap before
Bushwhacker
B-Rap.
B. Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to Kelly Bundy because she ended up being the biggest star out of all of them and having the biggest career.
Christina Applegate. Yeah.
I mean, I remember from Don't Tell Mom, Babysitter's Dead. She ain't never looked back. And I thought Bundy would have had the bigger career afterwards, but
He didn't do badly though, because that show that he's on. What was that show with the weird family?
Home
No.
something with Vita Guerrera.
Yeah, Sophia Vergara.
Yeah.
He's just saying stuff. Velveeta, I don't remember the name of the show, but it was a good show, and I liked this character on it, Ed O'Neill. But golly, I remember seeing something where she was on the set of some sitcom, and she's waiting for the guy who plays her love interest or whatever to walk through the door. And then Ed O'Neill walks through the door when she opens it, and she just burst into tears and started hugging him. It was so cute, and he's just so proud of her. And I remember hearing how he was really protective of her on set, and it just made me smile. I love that little. I used to like that show. Modern Family. Thank you, John.
Okay.
Modern Family.
Right. Hey, my girl Christian
They just
asked
saying
me about
everything.
this saga of Danny Hernandez. I actually didn't know what you was talking about till I pulled it up. I have this
I
saved
didn't watch it.
on Netflix.
Snitch 9.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Snitch 9. And he got something on Netflix. I got it saved, but I wasn't in a hurry to watch it.
I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen everything I need to know about him.
We know all we need to know about that situation.
It's on Hulu. Yeah, I thought I saw it on Netflix, but I guess it was Hulu that I had came across this. I'm never a fan of his or music of his, so I don't know much about him other than like
He just screams into the mic.
I've never heard any of his music. I know I was disgusted about how 50 Cent was putting him, how all these black men put him on.
That's the only song I heard. 50.
Yeah.
That's what kills. That's what, it doesn't kill me. That's what gets me about how everything turned out. I don't even feel sorry for those dudes who are in jail behind him. Like y'all let this little Mexican play y'all, run around y'all using the N-word like every other word out of his mouth. Nigga this, nigga that, and
trying to be famous.
Right.
And he is free.
Then go
and y'all are in jail.
Trying to poke the bear, and then dip out.
Yeah, but every time he was doing that, what do you see? A group of 6 big old black men around and protecting him. Like y'all got what y'all got with that.
And
sorry.
You know what? Much credit to Fat Joe, because he warned him like a year before all that went down. Like, yo, you need to relax.
But Fat Joe is the same kind of dude to me. It's something about people in the Northeast. The way he uses the N-word all the damn time, and professes to be black. Like, you're Puerto Rican, you're not black, and you're not a black Puerto Rican. Because
let me just say this one thing:
he's Puerto Rican.
If he wasn't from New York, I would understand. But in New York, Puerto Ricans and blacks grow and live together like this.
I understand that they do. I don't get it because I'm like I told you, like just cultural differences. Regionally difference, like that's just something we in Texas, we don't understand that.
Right.
And so it's just weird to me when people accept it just because he says, he like, we can see, my eyes are not deceiving me. You're not black. Why are you running around nigga this, nigga that? And like all these black people co-signing it. Like, I just like get that.
And that's why I just want to say,
he was asked about that too.
Yeah, the only thing is because it's New York is different. If it would have been any other place,
I know,
because they grow together, you live together, you treat it the same by everybody else,
but not always. Because when it's time for them to pull their privilege card, they know that they're not black. They still realize that they're a step above blackness. So like this whole notion of a black and brown coalition is not always there. It's always black people pulling for everybody else. But then when it's time to really be black, Joe knows that he doesn't have to face the same situations that black people do, that black men do. It's not the same. There's a lot of similarities, but it's not the same. That people know when to pull their people of color card and when we are black people. There's a difference.
Right. Hey, CJ. You always got a lot to say. I believe that you in New York, right? And you Puerto Rican. Here's a chance for you to speak on something that you can give us some insight on your opinion. Because we not from New York and we not Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I people from New York. Alethea's from New York. And she tells me, every person from New York tells me that this is the norm. And I hear it all the time. I had a guy from New Jersey who used to come to my channel all the time and he was like as in his mind, he's blackity black, pro black, yada, yada, yada. But, oh yeah, it's cool because they can use it. But, as long as a white person don't say it, then it's cool. But I'm like, but what if y'all are all poor? Like, aren't y'all all like getting, so to me, I will never understand it. But I do know that in New York, I understand that for them, it's a difference. For me, that's why I say, like, a lot of the times it's about the region we live in. It's not even about black and white, but we're just I think that I'm culturally more like white people down here than I am like black people in New York culturally. Yeah, because of the way that we grew up, And so it's
got a cowboy culture versus a urban street. Like they ain't seen horses and. Right.
Like we ride horses, we have acres of land and we ride horses on our family reunion.
Acres of land without buildings, they don't see either types unless you go to
mm-hmm.
Right.
To answer your question, I'm not Latian.
You ain't a bottle of lotion. You look so moisturized on the camera. You just have to wonder, is it a vino or is it equate? Or is it the equator vino? That's all I need to know.
I'm not the least bit Latin. I'm actually biracial. I'm half black, half white, but I identify as black.
Is your mother black?
My mother is white. My father's black.
Your mother's white. Your father's black. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever? What city are you from?
Me, Cleveland.
Cleveland. Okay, I got some family and stuff in Cleveland, and you know,
Yeah,
Cleveland ain't no joke. Cleveland kind of rough. I've been to Cleveland a couple times, and it wasn't in Shaker Heights. That's
Yeah.
the good part, right?
Yeah, that's the suburban part, not far
That's
from
not
where I
we
grew up.
was.
Yeah, I grew up in Cleveland
Okay.
Heights, and I live in Cleveland currently. And yeah,
See,
and
around the time
my
that
wife,
I was
my
going,
wife is chocolate.
okay. And see, around the time I was going there, Bone Thugs and Harmony hit big, and like my cousin,
I love Bone Thugs.
man, he was like
I've
so
never heard anything
proud
like that,
of Bone
man.
Thugs and Harmony. They were like proud of
You'll
them
see him
dudes.
walking around every now and again. Around here.
Oh yeah,
You'll see him around. Yeah.
I love them. Love them.
feeling
I
it,
never
but
used
it,
to
but
listen to
I
my wife.
can't go down. Yeah.
All
So CJ, you say your dad raised in New York. I don't know. I guess CJ scared to come on. It's all good, CJ, man. We thought you was gonna
He
get.
said I get what she's saying as well. I don't know if he's talking about me or somebody else, but I don't know. Once she puts race on, she's stopping the argument as far as culture.
Well,
Okay, so he basically, tell me if I'm wrong, CJ, but what I get out of that comment is you saying it's more of a hip hop culture or a urban culture. They all living together, in it together type culture, and they don't see it as race because they all live together, in it together, intermarry, all of that, maybe.
Or is it that
Yes.
they all grew up listening to the same music? That's the thing.
Right, because then by that token, go ahead,
Yeah, the
Eminem,
point-
go ahead, Beastie
Well,
Boys,
I think
go ahead,
that's the point you're
Iggy
making.
Azalea, you know,
Yeah, because it's a slippery slope. Because we had in Cleveland we had like white
if
friends
it's the
that
culture,
had flavor that we allowed to say nigga. You know what I'm saying? And now looking back at it as an adult, it probably wasn't the best thing because now like these same cats, they feel they're a little too comfortable saying and doing things.
right,
and we allowed them to feel that comfortable from the jump. So it's like it's a mess of our own making.
That's the thing. You can't change it. You can't take it back. And that I've never let any white and I've grown up around white people. They've always been there. I can't escape them. But I've never let any one of them feel comfortable enough around me to think that was ever okay. Never.
And good on
Never.
you.
I don't care how much. And my ex-fiance is a white man, loves rap music. I dare you to even say it in a rap. I dare you. If you value having teeth in your mouth, you won't ever use that word while we're together, ever.
Have y'all seen that movie with Chris Rock, Down to Earth? It's basically a remake of the Warren Beatty movie where Warren Beatty died there, came back into the body or whatever. Except this time Chris Rock was in a fat white man's body that was rich, and he was eating a hot dog with I think Teresa Randall. And then these dudes rolled up in the Hummer bumping DMX. Niggas better ride, niggas better. And then he like, ooh, that's my jam. And he started doing it. And then he didn't forgot. He went, stop, drop, shut him down, open up. And he's singing it, but he the white dude. But he ain't know it. He's saying it. The dude was like, yo, dog.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, for me, that is always the proper response. That's what I need to see every black man do anytime a white man says that word in their presence. And that actually is funny that you bring that up because Chris Rock, y'all don't understand. Yeah, I grew up in the age of Eddie Murphy and like he was everything for me until I saw Chris Rock. I'm like, man, this guy gets it. Like, I understood his humor, and even the way that, and it was funny because I would hear white people say that he was racist. And then I would hear black people say he doesn't. Yeah. And I would hear black people say he doesn't like black people. And I'm like, no, like he gets it all. But then I remember seeing this panel interview with him and some other white guys. And one of them said the N-word. I want to think it was like him and Ricky Gervais and Jerry Seinfeld. And I can't remember. It was like two other ones. And two of them like started saying the N-word. And Chris Rock just sat there like he was perfectly comfortable. And the only one who spoke up to say this is not right is Jerry Seinfeld. And I'm like just sitting there. I'm like, Chris, like I'm so disappointed because like I feel like you get everything as far as racial nuances are concerned. That's why some white people love you, and there are white people who think you're racist. That's why some black people love you, and there are some black people who think you hate black people because you call out everybody on their bullshit. And I love nuances. I don't like just this is what it is and that's it, because there's always nuances in this life. And Chris Rock like would just hit him every single time. But then I sat there and watched him sit here with these men and they're just but you know, nigger and like literally I'm looking at all of them and Jerry Seinfeld is like looking around, and then I'm just waiting for Chris to say something. So Jerry's finally like, wait,
I'm not
hold
about
up,
to
you
be
guys.
that white guy.
I'm not doing this, and this isn't right. I'm like, Chris, well, why couldn't you say that? And he didn't even have Jerry Seinfeld's back, like, you know, like, yeah, like I didn't know who I was watching, and I didn't know how to feel about him anymore, because I just, like, he was the man to me in this comedy world. Like, he called out all race of people on their stuff. He had everybody loving him and everybody hating him at the same time. And I love that. Like, this is like, I could identify with him because of the way that I speak about race and things, you know. It's like, people might be with me 1 second, but just hang in there. You're going to disagree with me in 2 seconds. You know, here I come. But then you're going to be back on the, you know, you're going to be back on the scene with me in 5 more minutes. But like oh man, y'all, it just disappointed me. It just disappointed me. I'm like, how do you do that? And so, and I feel though, like that just makes black men, you know, and obviously he's not every black man, but you know, there's not a lot. And so representation does matter, you know, and so it makes black men look weak to other groups of men when black men are just sitting around, they're letting their, oh man, no, it's cool. You know, you're in the culture. Oh, come on, Eminem, oh, it's all right, man. Let him say it. Like, what? And it's just like, what is this?
Yeah, there's an awakening that, like,
I don't get it.
And it's happening in some circles that, you know, what was considered acceptable 20 years ago just isn't acceptable today. What was considered acceptable when we were kids,
yeah, the wokeness
should not be acceptable today, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
At no point in my life was that ever acceptable. Hey, CJ.
You grew up in the South, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that word I imagine that word has a whole different meaning, you know, when it's used.
Yeah.
So
it does.
I can see why
you
take it so seriously. Yeah.
Right. Even with an A on the end, it's not endearing to me. Like,
right.
If you want to say a term of endearment to me, don't call me that.
I got you.
All right, brother CJ, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's going on in New York with the culture, man?
I'm not in New York. I'm in Virginia.
Okay.
So my dad's from New York.
Okay.
Okay, your dad from New York. So what do you think about that, though?
No, what I meant by what she was saying is that, like, so either you make the argument about like race and just leave it at race, right? So then you do whatever points you want to counteract that argument, or you bring up the culture part. I was saying that she was bringing up both. So then you're always going to make it to where it fits, right? So then she started saying, oh, okay, so Eminem should say it and Iggy Azalea, but it's not the same thing, because you're not, you feel it the most when somebody white is saying it, because that's who was saying it, right? There was nobody like back then that was here making black people slaves or making them work for them from these other countries. I'm not saying it makes it okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they're like separate arguments. But if you say,
so when you say the culture, what are you talking about? Are you what do you mean by the culture?
He referenced New York and he referenced Fat Joe, because Fat Joe does say it all the time.
Right.
So then that comes into like, okay, well, yeah. But then you were talking about if they don't identify as Black Latinos, right? Like me, I never fall for that. I'm Puerto Rican, which means I'm Black, white, and Indian. Period. I don't have to do the math. I'm not gonna do the test. I use it. I use it all the time. If it's on a song, I use it. I don't only use it if certain people are around. I only stopped using it for 8 years in the Navy, because if you say it, like, you can get kicked out. Period.
Really?
It don't matter how you say it. If you say it and he says you're good, none of that. I've never asked for a pass. I've never done any of that. Normally you do that with, you know, a white guy, right? But we were all cool with Joseph saying it on Power, but like now it's like not cool. Like, Y'all forgot he said it.
I've not been cool with that. I don't remember him saying that.
That's what I mean.
Did Joe Sikora use it on Power? Because I don't remember him saying it. So I would not have been cool
very
with
quickly. Very quickly, you did once.
I don't remember.
Oh, he did.
Okay. And it was almost under his breath. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I saw that. Because I didn't catch it when I first saw that episode.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. I never caught it.
And you know what?
And I would not have been cool with it, and I'm not cool with even hearing it. So no.
I don't ever want to hear a white person use that word. Like,
one thing
I'm
you
never
see
down with that.
With what happened with the destruction of Puerto Rico with the hurricane is that Puerto Ricans are treated and looked at as if they were black.
Yeah, but see,
this ridiculous president.
Yeah,
Puerto Rico's complicated, man.
Yeah.
They got like a lot of trouble with the local government down there.
But like earlier, Ty said that is still a step above. Like that's what I mean by like either you're saying okay, there's no argument, nobody else should say it, period, or you're.
I don't think anyone should say it, not even black people.
So
for me personally, I don't think anybody should say it. That's just my opinion. People, I mean, the word is out there. If we can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, so people are going to say it. I'm just expressing the way I feel about it. I don't think anyone should be saying it, and I certainly don't think that black men should be sitting in the face of someone saying it and just being cool with it. Like that makes black men look weak as hell to me.
Like it's this one example. It's this one white girl that I was cool with. She was my neighbor, whatever. We hang out, and she had like 3 kids, all by black dudes, and she was cool, wasn't racist or nothing. But in the conversation, she'd be like, "Oh man, this, you know, said this or that." I'd be like, "Hey, you can't be saying that." She like, "Why you keep messing with me all the time?" I'm like, "Look, I don't care how many chocolate bars you done tasted."
The face you made, the Snickers.
You know what
I'm saying? I'll give you a pass.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think that
lollipop you enjoyed, baby. This ain't that type of party.
Right.
I think that's a part of the problem too. Like he said the whole thing. Oh, right.
Go ahead.
No, like how he said the part with the past. I think once you do that, then you're already going into that problem, right? Because now you're saying, "Hey, so is it cool or is it not?" So now you're playing that. What I mean by I say it all the time is that's just been normal in Puerto Rico. You say it. Tego Calderon, he's just a reggaeton artist. He's from Loíza, which is like the blackest city in Puerto Rico. But he didn't say it because he was darker. That's just what we say. And the reason we say it, me saying like from Puerto Rico and stuff like that, is because we grew up listening to hip hop that comes from New York. So we've always said it because we're mixed with black. It's not, you know, I'm not doing math problems. That's what I said earlier. I'm like, okay, so he said he's black and white. So he's 50% and I'm 33%. So are me and him going to argue about who's more okay to say it?
You can only use it 3 times a day.
I get your point.
Yeah.
I get your point, but for me, it doesn't stand.
But Takashi,
we're looking at it from totally different places.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. You know, I understand exactly what you mean, and I don't have I can't control how anybody uses it. I can only say how I feel about how people use it. Like I said, the toothpaste is out of the tube. You know, it's all over rap lyrics that, you know, let's face it, white people are buying. They're going to be saying it in their lyrics. They're going to feel comfortable. And they're, you know, people who let them say it. I'm not one of those people. So if they encounter me, they're going to get a very different reaction, you know, and they will know not to say it again if they ever do let it slip. And I've had that happen a couple of times where I had to check somebody. And what I was thinking about you, Jay, and the girl who, you know, has all the children by the black guy. Don't think that sometimes just a lot of people like just because like there's some white chick who's hood and she's the white chick that the white guys don't want, so the black guy will take her. Just because she likes to ride black dick doesn't mean that she's a freedom fighter. So they do feel comfortable using that word, you know, because I'm just a hood ass gutter chick.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't see any Kardashians dropping N-bombs out here.
Yeah, and if I'm sitting there and she do that and I be just sitting there, then that make me look dumb and stupid. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
not talking and grubbing. He got this one comment I just want to say right quick. He say he don't like when black people use it with each other. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I don't care if it's with each other, but if somebody else is around, I don't like to because I don't want people to misinterpret or think something because they don't know. But if it's like, say, me and Ian talking on the phone, I don't give a damn what he say.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I will say that because of that, like I've made an effort to use it less.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
Mhm.
It
just to like get myself closer to being on code because you never know, you know, what people hear,
and
you know, and they feel comfortable enough to go there with you, like, and then it manifests itself in different ways. Like I remember, I was hanging out with some friends of ours out that are white couple, white family in a very white part of town over here, and he had a neighbor who showed up at a Halloween party dressed as Kanye West in blackface, and he didn't see what was wrong with that. And my white friend had to explain to his white neighbor why that's not okay.
In Cleveland.
Yeah.
Hey, that's different.
That's in the suburbs outside of Cleveland, removed from Cleveland,
Nebraska.
you know? Well, it was in a place called Chagrin Falls, which is a suburb about 20 or 30 minutes out of like Cleveland. But yeah, northeast Ohio.
Chagrin, you didn't approve of that costume.
Yeah, much to my chagrin.
Yes. So
speaking of chagrin.
Yeah, John, you got a point because I just had to tell my son he ain't saying the N-word, but he cussed too damn much to his friends online. And so he'd be talking to me, talking about, and that I say, you cussing too much so we can slip up.
Do you guys hear the music that's playing right now?
No, I can't hear no music.
They're playing, okay, so they're playing, they're over here like cha-cha real smooth, right? So right now here is a white girl, a white girl. My sister Puerto Rican. There's 3 Dominican dudes. I mean, another Puerto Rican dude and 2 Dominican dudes. All 3 of them look black. If we're talking to each other in English, we're gonna talk like, I guess you would say, black people would talk. And I say this because I hate it when people always break everything down like that. More slang, I guess, whatever. If we're talking in Spanish, we're just gonna talk that way, right? If I would have just met them, I would have went with that one. That word probably would have came out first anyways, until they say anything Spanish. As soon as they say they don't speak Spanish, if anything, I'm more out than anything. Like, I don't even want to like have the conversation because culture-wise, I'm lost now. Like, I have nothing.
Well, it's like, you know, and it's only with the N-word, man. Like, you don't see any Puerto Ricans or anybody saying, "Hey, my spick," or Jewish people saying, "Hey, my kike," you know, like. It's just
why are we the only group of people where a word that is meant to denigrate us is used somehow as some kind of term of endearment? I don't see Mexicans down here in Texas walking around, "Hey, wetback, what's up?"
Right.
My chink, you know,
and
when their racial slurs start becoming words of endearment, then I can accept this. But it's only ours that has become somehow some term of endearment. As long as you say it with an A and not a hard ER. Fuck out of here.
And that speaks to the power that we have and how we've not leveraged it properly, generation to generation.
I agree.
But I was saying today, like, I mean, this weeks ago, but I was trying to talk about different shows. Like when somebody goes on the chat and asks for a show, right? Like there's different shows as far as like, if you like a show like Power, right? Like that stars, you know, they're going to have curse words and stuff. They're going to talk like we consider real, like people on the street would talk, right? So they're going to be using words like that. So if you're just watching a show like, I don't know, Scandal or something, you can have 3 black people in the cast, but nobody's going to say it. 1, they're like professional. And 2, that's not going to be allowed on TV. So like,
let me ask. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, but like, so like, even when it comes to just separating a channel, you're going to have completely different conversations. Like right now, we were talking about this because one person that should not have been saying it, that's supposed to just be a rapper, was saying it, you know, and now we're like incorporating it to everything else.
Yeah, separate question while I have you. Now, how do like Hispanics feel about how they're portrayed on Power? Because like Hispanics get dog walked on that show.
Let's go.
Dog walked. They die some of the most horrific deaths.
They do die pretty bad deaths.
Okay, I got this. All right, so one of the reasons Power is like one of my favorite shows ever, right? I never knew who Courtney Kemp was. I didn't know she wrote for other shows. I've never really liked a show that's being promoted as being like a black show, because then that's all you're really saying. You're not telling me, hey, this is a great show. You're saying, look, we get the opportunity. Normally, you know, we don't get to do this, blah, 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 right? So it's almost like you start with like pressure. So I gave it a chance. My neighbors, my roommate said to just watch it. They portray Cubans, Dominicans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans with the correct dialect. And I saw an interview that Connie Kent did that was breaking down like how she wanted that to be honest. Most shows don't care about that. Like they'll give you an actor that you clearly know they have no Spanish accent whatsoever, and then you just kind of throw them in there. But like this show, like kept it pretty legit. That's one of the main reasons why I like the show.
Think that it's bad as far as get killed bad, or are they dumb, or are they?
So.
I don't think so either.
Pancho is like that's how he is. Pancho's Puerto Rican.
No, I do think that they die bad deaths.
I think Howard killed more Hispanics than any other group on that show.
Oh, like even the way
running them over with cars and all
that was a good one. Though.
Yeah, I know.
It was entertaining. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But they only killed like 2 Hispanic people on the show.
No,
they killed Pancho.
They killed more than 2.
Luis, Pancho.
Okay,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of Hispanics in New York too, though. Like
but they're treated as like disposable characters on that show sometimes.
Because they were though. Because
they're put there to die. You know.
Yeah, but that's what they're there.
Yeah, but I think that when they're alive, I don't think that their representation is like lacking anyway in that world. Like, you know, because everybody's a drug dealer, everybody. So we can't like say, oh, they're making black people like drugs.
Yeah, and to be fair, like there are drug dealers, there are cops who are Hispanics in the show. A lot of them. Yeah.
Right. But I was just saying, I saw your point about the deaths. They do die in really graphic, horrible ways, and
it's all right though.
Yeah, like got like
it's all right because when they alive, they be representing. You know?
like even the older guys too. Like when you show like as soon as you show the Puerto Rican house, right, Angela's house, and you show the dad and everything, it was the biggest Puerto Rican flag of all time. Like that's normal. Like all of that was real. They're just sitting there talking about
Puerto Ricans in Cleveland. They have the Puerto Rican flag hanging from their rearview mirror.
They got the Puerto Rican flag because Chicago very segregated.
Chicago is a lot of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, the Puerto Rican flag is made out of steel, bolted into the ground, goes from one side of the street up over the street and bolted into that. Like you ain't gonna miss that. Like it's serious.
Yeah, we saw you. I saw your hat when you logged on.
Yeah.
But
I'll make sure I didn't put the wrong hat on. No.
I didn't play a little bit.
Tell me this, CJ. How do Latinos feel about people like just using them interchangeably? Like when we're saying that we need a Mexican, but we go get a Puerto Rican to play a Mexican, or when say we need a Colombian.
They did it on Power.
How do y'all feel about that? Because it happens all the time.
It's called racial ambiguity.
We watched Jennifer Lopez play, our Selena. And I went like this. Oh, Puerto Rican. Oh, help us! They gonna play Selena. Come on! Like,
they had a Mexican actress play a Middle Easterner on 24. I mean, they do it a lot. That's
so how do y'all feel about that, or do y'all just feel like, oh, what do y'all feel any kind of way about it?
Like I'm one kind of Latino, right? Like I'm Puerto Rican. That's one, so I can't really.
Right.
I can't answer for it.
So how do you feel about that? Is there ever a conversation? Like, do y'all have kitchen table talk about this? Like, when y'all get together for Thanksgiving, like, shit. Mm-hmm.
I care more about dialect, right? So if you're gonna have a Puerto Rican dude, then I want to feel like I can have a conversation with him, and it will feel normal. The closest to is Dominican and Puerto Rican. So Power did it. I'm telling you, Power did it perfect. You had Dominicans talking to Puerto Ricans. They're basically making fun of each other for each other's accents. That's 100% how it is. And the more you make fun of each other's dialect, the more you start doing it. And then you hate yourself. Because you don't want to forget that you're the other one. Like, that's normal.
Yeah,
I get too excited when I talk. I signed in Dominican for like 2 years when I was in the Navy. My best friend was Dominican. And I hated it so much. I just avoided Spanish.
Yeah, and from a production standpoint, there has to be a real effort, like by the casting director, if they want that authenticity.
Right.
And a lot of the times, they'll go with like better known actors who happen to be some kind of Latino as opposed to somebody who's more like really part of the culture. That's why you see, Jennifer Lopez got so many roles over the years, or John Leguizamo or whoever. Like there's a lot of great Hispanic actors out there.
Yeah, John Leguizamo's played every kind of Spanish person there is.
Right.
Julio on Power too. Like even though it's like something small, right? Like you start asking him like where he's from or whatever, he's like Cubano. Like you say you're proud or whatever. Like stuff like that is like that sticks out to me. Like I like stuff like that. Which is why that made me like Corny Camp even more. Huh?
As long as they're not doing the West Side Story thing, man.
I've never seen that.
No,
really,
it was completely whitewashed. There were white people playing Hispanics that entire movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying Rita Moreno was the star of the movie, and she actually won the Academy Award, first Hispanic woman to win. And she's still alive. They actually are remaking West Side Story right now. Steven Spielberg. Yeah, and she in it. She's the same age as my mom, and she's
casting is more authentic.
Yeah, she's still out there. It's one thing I saw. Where is that comment? It said about let's see, Roxy. You say we all from Africa doesn't make you black. I don't get that.
Wait, she's probably saying that to me, maybe.
Like a culture is one thing.
No, she's talking to Whitney about a nurse at her job, a nurse at Whitney's job who apparently likes to use the N-word, I think, and uses the fact that she's 20% black to get away with, using the N-word. And I hate when people do that shit too.
You see how you did this, though, right?
It manifests itself.
Yeah.
You get people like
because I don't believe it. Because even Whitney was saying she doesn't believe the girl is. So that's what I'm saying. I think that people will just to get the pass to use the word. Oh, but I'm part black too.
Part of a culture too now. If they can
Mike
do
Perry
that.
did it.
Yeah.
UFC fighter.
Oh yeah.
Just a white dude. He said it though.
Right. Well,
and then they called him out. And he said I'm 1%. But I mean, he was kidding.
Are you 20% black when you get pulled over? That's
right.
Who, me?
Right.
Anybody.
They definitely took me to jail for wearing a fake GU and a spinner and a hoodie and a fitted over my hat. I don't think they had time to think about what I was. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. So I'm from Puerto Rico, so we don't think like this way. So this is in a lot of ways like I'll say a joke or something, and then somebody be like, "Oh, you're not supposed to say that," and then it's like, well, I'm not used to having to consider all this stuff. Like, so I have problems in a sociology class. So I thought my professor was African American, so I thought she was just throwing it in there. Gentrification and what was it? It's something with red, where the banks
redlining.
Redlining. Yeah. So
yeah,
I thought she was just like trying to teach me like something she wanted to teach me. So I had a conversation with her, on the side, and she was like, "Where you from?" And I was like, "Oh, Puerto Rico." Like we normally don't look at things that way. So that's a kind of not a culture shock, but like it's different. Like even the way we live on the ship in the Navy, right, on deployment, like it's kind of like black people go one way, Hispanics go one way, white people go another way. But then you see the white dudes considered, how people say they're black, they're cool, whatever. I hate doing that, but that's how people refer to it.
I know what you mean.
So then they start kind of blending in, right? So I didn't understand any of that because over there in Puerto Rico,
it's not something you have to consider. Yeah.
Whereas everybody in Puerto Rico is not as integrated as the United States, like a melting pot.
All you guys, all four of us right now, I'm looking at the screen, right? Every single one of us can be in Puerto Rico, and if we're Puerto Rican, we're just Puerto Rican.
Right.
Jay is not, he's lighter, so he has more money. We don't assume anything based on that.
Right.
I don't assume that Ty is pretending to be smart or she's smart for being a black female. Like all those things sound so crazy to me. I understand that it's the reality that you guys have faced. I get that. I didn't always live here,
It's an American problem.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's about cultural differences. We have cultural differences that make things different. There are different realities for each of
like
us
him, he's wearing
based
glasses,
on just where we
Somebody
live.
might be like, oh,
even in the
he's
UK,
trying to look
it's
smart or something.
Is here with that.
Say that again, CJ.
Like he's wearing glasses, right? Let's just say like he was dark or something, right? And then somebody might be like, oh, he's trying to wear glasses to look smart. Like that's crazy to me. But that's realistic.
Right.
See, he's just like
for some people that is
I got
I've never seen stuff like that before.
It's a practical need.
Right. I got Jack B. That's one of my brothers right here from UK, from London, checking in. I appreciate you, brother. He said Robert Downey Jr. played the black guy in Tropic Thunder. And that's a good point, because even though it was a joke and a comedy, he still did that. And he actually, I played the dude disguised as another dude. I'm the dude, and the dude disguised as another dude.
I was gonna say
that's like Joe Rogan.
He plays a white guy who's pretending to be a black guy, and he's making it really obvious that he's in blackface.
Right.
It's even deeper than that. He was supposed to be Australian that was playing an American actor that then was trying to play a black dude. Yeah, that movie. If y'all haven't seen Tropic Thunder, I love this.
But it's clearly for comedy, that being the main difference.
It's clearly satire.
Right, because he wipe it off at the end, and he making a joke, Jack, right there. I know him, so he bringing up a good point, but he being
that's
funny.
A rare exception right there.
Yeah, if y'all have not seen,
there are rare exceptions.
That would be one of them.
He was on Joe Rogan and they asked him about that. He was like, "Yeah, you can't make that movie today."
You don't think he could?
Not today.
In this social climate,
I mean, even though it has died down, because that's how the media works.
I don't know if they would allow a movie like that to be made.
The studio probably wouldn't.
I wonder.
Yeah,
the studio wouldn't take
it. They'd be too worried about losing money.
2008, man. Is that much?
I know, but a lot has changed. People, all the woke culture and social media outrage was not there in 2008 like it is in 2020. A lot has changed. Yeah.
Social media is too fast.
Quickly.
Man. It's too fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anybody can complain in that city.
Long ago.
And we don't need another one of those either,
No.
We don't.
I would think they should be able to make
But even Tropic Thunder, like, it took a lot to get that movie made, because that was like a passion project, I think, for Ben Stiller. Like, it took a lot to get funding for that.
He directed it too, right? Ben Stiller?
Yeah, Ben Stiller. Yeah, he does. He does
directed
a lot of directing and stuff. I'm not sure if he did. Yeah, he did.
I'm pretty
Ben
sure he
Stiller
did.
right here. Yeah, he directs most of his movies. I actually like Ben Stiller. He got a borderline comedy with me. Like, either I'm gonna like it a lot or I'm not.
He is hit or miss. Him and Adam Sandler, hit or miss. There's nothing.
But did you see the serious Adam Sandler movie?
Nah.
Which one?
Uncut Gems was good. A great movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Uncut Gems was good. That's probably the best Adam Sandler movie he made, but it's a serious movie. You could check it out on Netflix. And he plays a jeweler in New York, and he had a gambling problem. And Kevin Garnett is in there. Okay. Yeah, and Kevin Garnett is in there. And so he got Kevin Garnett trying to get some custom jewelry, and he Garnett loaned the NBA championship ring while he do that as collateral. Then he try to get a loan on the ring, do this, do that, owe this money. Garnett want it back, got to run it. Man, it get crazy. It's good.
It's like this the whole time. Like,
yeah, phonetic pace. And it's on Netflix. If you're looking for a good movie to watch, it's not a regular Adam Sandler film. Actually, you forget that that's Adam Sandler.
Exactly. Yeah,
you can actually forget that that's Adam. Doesn't look like him. Doesn't act like him. He's not jokey joke playing around or any of that. And so,
you just trying to run the game the whole time.
Yeah.
He's trying to win.
Now, Whitney said she hated Uncut Gems.
No, she didn't. She said she hated Uncut Gems.
But then hated it.
Go in on that.
Now, that is a good point. The Wayans brothers did White Chicks. which I didn't like that, and I didn't see it till it was on cable.
I never saw it.
It was just okay.
Yeah. What
Oh,
made
yeah,
me
I
watch
heard
it is
about the
because people
argument
talked
for
about
that, so,
Terry
yeah.
Crews so much. I said, let me see what they talking about.
Yeah, they always bring that.
I just talked about him on my channel.
Oh,
I know,
my
I
God.
remember that.
Man,
Terry Crews is a mess.
just stop talking, Terry.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah,
That would be good.
It's clear that he's trying to protect that bag, and he'll say and do whatever it takes to keep that going, which is just.
I think it's that and then some, but
he hate being black.
Talked about that. I really do think he does.
He getting heated. Ty getting heated.
I think
No, I'm not getting heat. No, I Slick feels sorry for him because the thing is, I used to be such a big fan of his. I was like, found him to be attractive and everything, but I think that he feels. Okay. I think that he hates being black, and that's a major turn off. Somebody who doesn't like their own blackness or whatever they are. Because I'm attracted to men of all races, but I don't want to be with anybody who's not proud to be what they are. Yeah. No, I just
DJ, you got a shot.
No, I'm attracted to men of all races, but you gotta keep it. No, I didn't understand. What do you mean? I'm always mad at you. I've never even addressed you.
Nice way, go ahead.
Oh, look, boo. No, but I did wonder about your. So now that you're here, what's this about? You're questioning my having been a sex worker since you're here.
Yeah, so like Jay kind of knows that I be trying to be funny, but the thing is, it's never timed properly. So like it'll be like 3 minutes later.
He said that. Mm-hmm.
So I know. I was trying to find it too. So all you get is that I try to say that you were. So you were saying like if you are. So you said you were basically. So I was like, oh, so you were?
Okay. So, yeah, because I didn't say that you said that I was. You asked if I was, and I just didn't understand why you were asking. I'm like, what did I say?
But
that
I would have been fine though.
That?
But I mean, I wouldn't even have judged you. But then the comments though, then they started going in.
It's hard for some things.
And then
it's all good.
They'll come out right when it's in print,
right?
As opposed to when you deliver it like this,
It's all good, and there's a delay on StreamYard. It's all good. No, I was just wondering. I'm like, what did I say that made him think that? So no, I mean, I know that I'm not one, so it's okay. Yeah. But no, I was wondering where.
It's fine. It's fine.
So while we're talking about actors and race, how did y'all feel about the Liam Neeson situation when that was a thing? When he when he admitted that he was hunting black people back in like 40 years ago.
Yes.
You didn't hear that story, Jay?
Wow.
I went to
from the Naked Gun.
I went around Ireland looking for a black bastard so we can have a goal. Black bastard.
Liam Neeson.
Yes.
This
is a big story about 2 years ago, huh?
Yeah, from Taken, Darkman.
Yeah.
That dude makes the same movie every year.
Right,
hey, man. I like Liam Neeson.
I got taken away from that though.
Nah, he picked a bad time to tell an important story. That's how I interpreted it.
What was it about, man?
Yeah.
So here's what happened. He was doing promo for that movie you did like a year or so ago. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really good. Just not good enough for me to remember the title for some reason.
I'm trying to look for it.
He was doing an interview, and the interviewer asked him because it was a revenge story. He was trying to get revenge.
And how I learned revenge.
I really don't remember.
Okay, go ahead. I think I found it, but go ahead.
He was. It was a story about his son got killed by some local gangsters or something like that. So, the journalist asked him so how did you tap into that for your character, like that rage and wanting to seek revenge? And he told a story about 40 years ago how a woman friend of his got assaulted and raped by a black person, and then he told the story of how he literally would go around the streets of Ireland looking for any black person to kill.
Any black man.
I did, I think, hear a little of this.
And and then he bookended that story with, he recognized how wrong it was, later on, like maybe a week later after he been you know, hunting black people for like a week, and you know, he said he got, you know, help from his priest and stuff like that, and people they pretty much canceled him like that. It torpedoed that movie. That movie did very poorly because of his comments, and you haven't seen a lot of Liam Neeson since. You know, he ruined his career.
He's an idiot for that. And here's the quote right here. He says, "I went up and down areas with the kosh, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping some Neeson gestures air quotes with his fingers, black bastard, would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, you know, so that I could."
That is literally, hold up, Jay, if I may pause and use the N-word, that's the equivalent of I wish an N-word would. That if you read what he's saying, that's what he was saying.
And he's saying he was looking to kill him.
Yes.
Yeah, because he asked his friend, you know, he wanted to get like the size and build and the make of the guy that did it to him, because he was hoping to like find that person and exact his retribution on him. And it cost for anybody that doesn't know, it's like a tire iron. It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. Hey, this is a damn good movie. I saw this on cable just not too long ago.
Well, that's because he taped into that anger and rage against black people. That's what made it so good. He had to tap into the rage that he had for some black man who raped
tapped
his
into those
friend.
feelings that he happened to have for a black person. Yeah.
Any black person. So I guess she didn't give a really good description.
It was just a tone deaf.
Very. Oh God.
And he had to clean that up. He tried to clean it up. Like he went on like a press.
There's no cleaning that up.
And
listen to this right here. He says he deliberately withholds details to protect the identity of the victim, and he says it was horrible when I think back that I did that, and I've never admitted that, and I'm saying it to a journalist, God forbid. And then you see the next line. Holy shit. His co-star said sitting beside him. So he pretty much knew you just blew the movie.
Yeah.
Neeson continues, it's awful. And a tremble under his breath, but I did learn a lesson from it. When I eventually thought, what the fuck are you doing, you know? What lesson is that? That you stupid? See, black guys don't do this type of stuff, man. Go around looking for any white guy to do something to or hope they start stuff with. I'm pretty sure anybody has done anything. I don't want to say that. But that's not the type of stuff that normally crosses the mind of somebody like that. Most people I've come across.
I do believe that we do have thoughts and tendencies that run through our minds that we don't express either. And we don't express them because of things like this, you know, because you're going to be perceived a certain way. And
while you speak on it, I'm gonna look up this other thing that's about that.
That's a social norms filter.
Yeah,
I shouldn't do this.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Like, I guess I don't know. I got accused of being racist once, believe it or not.
By whom?
You gonna explain it?
By a white woman.
What did Karen say now?
And your mother is a white woman, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was it your mom? Was it your mom?
No.
Right.
See, like that. See, it's funny like this though.
With the proper timing and in the proper context.
Parents from two different racial backgrounds. You hear some interesting arguments when you're a kid. I'll say that much. But so we were at a social gathering at my brother's house. My brother was, he was messing around with this white girl, and both of my brothers, they tend to. They fancy white women. Like that's just like kind of like the women they tend to go with. You know, that's their preference. You know, for one reason or another. And my other brother, he was on the phone with his girlfriend, who's a white girl, and I was teasing him. We were all drinking and everything, and I was just talking shit. So he excused himself, went outside like 2 or 3 times to talk to his girl, and then I started like teasing him, like, you better not be on the phone talking to no white bitches, and like Kevin Hart or whatever. And the girl took such umbrage to that she left, and she told my brother she felt I was a racist for doing that.
Oh wow.
So like where is the line? You know, like is what's acceptable versus what's not, with whom, and delivered by whom, and received by whom. You know, like, are we on code with racial sensitivity, or are there gray areas? You know, like,
I mean,
I don't think there are.
It's the same premise for all these different conversations we've been having about race tonight. Like, are we going to be on code and not even entertain that kind of stuff, even if we think it might be?
That's
funny?
what I meant earlier.
Yeah, we have to figure out the code. What is the code? Because we don't all want the same thing or care about the same thing. So what is the code? You know,
and as devil's advocate, if you would have said, you better not be out there with no black bitch ass,
whole different conversation.
Yeah,
right?
Oh yeah.
So when I heard Liam Neeson tell the story, I'm like, I wasn't really like mad at it per se, because he's acknowledging that it was wrong. It's just he told a story that he shouldn't have told. You know?
Yeah, he should have kept that to himself. He should have lied about what he tapped into. You know, I thought about when my stockbroker stole $300,000 from me, and I was so angry. He could have lied and told any story about what he tapped into for that role. Like that was.
And I'm an actor. I tapped into
the bigger conversation.
I know, right?
Conversation, is around cancel culture, because like, look at like how divided we are in this country right now for one reason or another, whether it's politics or race or whatever. But when we cancel people, when we just decide we don't want to deal with them, like, where do we think they go? Where does the hate go?
Right.
You know, do they go to their own little island somewhere? They don't.
It doesn't work. Cancel culture is just the thing we say.
Yeah. What's worse is it's a new Twitter out where people that have been canceled, the Alex Joneses and all of them, it's called Parler. And so then we won't be seeing the same information for real. We already don't see it where people that watch Fox and people that watch, CNN don't see the same stories. Now you won't be using the same social media, so you won't know what these people are saying or hear this or that, and it's just bigger divisions.
Right, because they feel excluded now, and they're allowed to nurture that someplace else. So really, we haven't fixed the problem. We've exacerbated.
Yeah, there's no such thing as canceling anyone. I mean, unless you're killing them, they're not dead. They're going to go somewhere. They're going to resurface somewhere.
More accurately, with like Alex Jones and them, like they were deplatformed. You know, they
exactly. Yeah. Now there are ways to mess with somebody's bag, so to speak. Now the only person that, to me, the closest that I've seen, especially in the entertainment industry, as far as someone getting canceled, was Chrisette Michele. When she went to go and perform for Donald Trump, everybody's all mad. Oh, this black woman's canceled. Has she gonna go sing for the president of that white devil?
And she almost killed herself over it.
Really?
She did, but yeah, she did. And I mean, and she fell off. They stopped playing her records. The backlash was horrible for this woman.
Yeah.
But we've literally seen Kanye West say he was going to go support Donald Trump. We've seen all these other black men go and sit down with Donald Trump. Nobody canceled them Negroes, but this black woman, you canceled, and like they literally, legitimately canceled her. Like that's the closest that I've ever seen it come.
She hasn't put out an album
the thing
since.
with Kanye is, I think, majority.
And can sing beautiful.
And I love Chrisette Michele's music. Love her music, especially her first two albums.
She can sing.
Yeah. But that's the difference. I think she still got more of a black fan base, so they would have got turned off. Whereas Kanye has crossed over. He ain't really got a black fan base as much as he did when he first started.
I mean, look at his family.
Not even for
he's made his decisions clear about who he was.
So I would chalk it up.
Yeah, he's drawn the line in the sand.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a man-woman thing. No, I would just say it's more of their fan base. Kanye.
Toxic fandom is a thing.
Right.
Okay, but then what about Steve Harvey? What about all the rest of them? He
almost got canceled.
He's not the only one. But he didn't. Well, he resurfaced with 2 more talk shows, and
But he didn't say he supported Trump, but he was going against.
No, but I'm saying, but there was a little bit of a backlash, but then people still came back. And what I'm saying is, she didn't get a little bit of backlash, and then people, because everybody like they have the 24 hours of outrage, and then the people who like him still go back to following them. They still go back to buying their music or watching their shows. For her, that did not happen.
There's 2 stories there. I remember when I remember when Kanye
not
did
even
an
him, because
interview.
there's still people taking up for R. Kelly. Well, I'm still listening to music. These just some fast ass little girls. Like, it's
Yeah,
still
that's just
people
proof
taking up
that
for
if
R.
music's
Kelly.
good enough, then
They're
people
playing R.
will
Kelly in this
be
house.
willing to
Right?
overlook a lot of stuff. You know, and we're getting to I think a better place overall in terms of like where we draw the line in the sand in terms of our morality versus what we consider entertaining. With the Kanye thing, I remember he did an interview like a year or two ago when he was talking about the Trump thing, and he was like, "Man, you don't know how it feels like when you try to like just speak your mind or whatever, and we don't have to agree with what he said or did or whatever,
Right,
but your own people will turn on you and call you a coon and oust you, you know, like, so what does that really do for the culture, you know, when we just, and I understand, like, you know, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I understand that, like, it's an unfortunate truth that we have to deal with, you know, as Black people, but still, like, what does that do to the psyche of a Black man who tried to, you know, quote unquote, think for themselves, and then they're cast out by their own people, you know?
But for
and
me, that was the issue. Did he really try to think for himself? Because Kanye wasn't able to tell anybody one thing that was on Trump's platform.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have any facts to back anything up. I think that Kanye is at this point a professional troll who puts out trash ass music and ugly clothes and shoes. Kanye's not the same Kanye who came out with those first two albums that we all love. This is a different man. This is a different person.
I think Kanye's a capitalist.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. When I heard he said it, I said, "Well, I wonder what it." I guess some new Jeezys or Yeezys are about to drop. New Yeezys are about to drop.
Well,
what's getting ready to happen?
Never hear from Kanye
what's getting ready to come out?
And
yeah, exactly. So he's gonna come out with some stupid shit, and then something drops.
Right. And he probably would not be a billionaire if not for all those white people that buy his sneakers. Because I don't know too many brothers.
Oh, for sure, you know? For sure.
And what he was saying in one interview about what he likes so much about Trump is that he came from not a political background and made it all the way to being the president. And Kanye kind of think he could do something like that. So in America, he like that you can do something like that. I'm not saying I agree. I do agree that you can. Is it easy or possible or realistic? That's not that much. But
there's truth to that now because of Trump. Like a lot of people now think that just because, you know, getting Trump out of office means that's the end of that. Like, no, there are close to 70 million people that really believe in that movement. And now Trump has set a blueprint for anybody to step in there. The Rock could be president in 8 years. You know, like it's anybody can come in.
Trump can come back.
Mike Pence could run in 4 years. Trump's son could run in 4 years. You know, like
he can too.
Like they can pass.
Trump can run in 2024 too.
That agenda
Trump may be more dangerous because he can sit on Fox News blabbing all kind of stuff every day now.
Yeah, I think that's I think what people are overlooking. Like now he can just kind of go rogue and just say all the things that he wants to say, you know, because he said enough as president, but now that he's not, he can really act a freaking fool.
That's why Joe Rogan says he should just start a podcast.
How much classified? He probably will.
He probably will.
That's what Joe Rogan been saying that for a year.
If he's not in prison, he probably will.
If he's not in prison, yeah, we'll see how that goes for him. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right, exactly.
Because if anything, he's going to spend the next 3 years in court over all the shenanigans. Because he's right. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have the capacity to run in 2024 just because he's going to be too tied up with the legal stuff. But any of his buddies, anybody who believes in the agenda, they can carry the torch and push the agenda in the future. Right. So that's something we should keep a close eye on. Like, just getting rid of the figurehead doesn't get rid of the agenda.
Right. That's true. And speaking of like when we was talking about Trump or Terry Crews, I'm gonna make this because we've been for a while. Get ready.
Is
to
either in there or in these?
But this guy that's a YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers, and ever since Trump lost,
I wouldn't let him see him all
my video I made about him. But this is another self-hating brother. He got on the show.
I've seen this guy.
Damn right, I support Trump.
I have my notifications off for him. Like don't recommend this channel. That's what I hit for him when I saw just the titles of his videos. I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from. Hey, Carolyn.
Is that the same? I know there was like this one famed Black Trump supporter who had like a big platform. He passed away recently. Is that the same guy or no?
No,
I'm assuming
no. This one is still alive.
Okay. This dude has been able to get on Fox with his show
Yeah, because he's a black Trump supporter. Like Fox
Right.
loves that stuff because they like to dangle people like that. Like, look at this, we got one of them over here. They even believe that, you know,
They got
Right.
9
That's
of them.
supposed to make the rest of us
Yeah,
follow over there. Look at my little African American.
That's
The
how they
rest
use
of you should
Candace
be
Owens.
my African Americans. Come on over here. Shoot, look, I thought about selling out and pretending to be a Trump supporter. Oh my God, I'd be rich on YouTube. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Did you guys
Like,
see
oh
what he
my
did in
God,
Puerto
what
Rico?
is wrong with these black people going along with the Democratic agenda? Are you all not going to get off of the Democratic plantation and come and join this man who wants to make our country great again? Like, are you kidding? I sure could sell out and like be a
half
freaking
of that was
millionaire
correct.
in these streets.
Like half of that was correct. It's not like you can't just
You're
leave
right.
the Democratic plantation because the Republicans are that much better, because they're
The
not.
Republican
like the whole
plantation
institution
doesn't offer anything better.
They're
No,
part of the
I
same
get
institution.
you.
Yeah,
They are. That's what I'm. That's my point. I'm saying I could pretend to be a Trump supporter and sell out myself on YouTube, and I could get on there and talk that shit too, and have $1 million, you know, in a year or less probably. Because like, yeah, this black girl, this little niglet, she understands.
Right.
But
Exactly.
no, like I'm not going to sell
shameful.
myself out. But I could.
Yeah.
But like you said though, what I said is half correct. The only thing is that the Republican plantation doesn't offer us anything either. But nobody seems to realize that. That's why my politics literally is money, my own personal finances. If black people ever decide that we want to practice group economics like Asians do, then I'm on board. But until then, I don't care about the jackass or the elephant. You can have both of those parties. It's the same effing thing.
And that's my thing with black Trump supporters. Like, if you're a person that votes for your interests, okay, vote for your interests. Like, you don't have to put on the MAGA hat or anything. If you like lower taxes, okay, then support that.
I get it.
You know, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you tether yourself or associate yourself with the rhetoric that's associated with the agenda, that's a different thing.
Right.
You know, when you try to tout this guy like he's like the real great white hope for black people, that's a disservice to black people.
That's a lie. That's a flat out lie.
Yeah, and just say like, hey, I like the policies. You know,
and then another thing that I don't like about this Officer Tatum is that he likes to say that majority of the time when black folks are shot, it's their fault because they shouldn't have resisted arrest. And how many videos have we seen other people resist arrest and don't get shot and have weapons and things? And then he talk about how LeBron James, this, that.
The high-speed chase the other day.
You say what?
There was a high-speed chase the other day, live on YouTube, and they didn't get shot. It was a high-speed chase. They stopped it.
Wow.
And he still got out. And he ran. And they still stopped him. And there wasn't even the gun didn't even come out until they were already doing the arrest.
Now, who was being chased?
I want to say it was California. It was an SUV. It was like 2 weeks ago, I think. It was like live on YouTube.
This man made a video about why black men choose white women over black women, basically saying it's better and other things, and give his little reasons and things. Even
if there's truth in what he's saying, that's still self-hate.
Exactly.
You know, some things don't need to be said like that. Like, if you have a preference toward a particular kind of women, because there's plenty of brothers out there that prefer women who are not black, you know, and there are black women that, you know, prefer white dudes or whatever. Like, that's all good and fine. That doesn't mean that you lose your identity in the process.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
You don't have to throw your identity out with the bathwater to love who you want to love.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Right. That's always my problem.
Exactly. And then he got stuff like white privilege my ass, as if nothing happened. Like, he make it seem like black people commit more crimes. He said in this other video, next time I'm gonna have it lined up. But he say that's why black people get
provocative.
Jay, he is cooning hard. I don't know why you give him any views. I would never.
How many subs does he have? Like, how big is this guy?
A lot of it is location too, though.
He has 1.4 million subscribers.
Holy smokes!
Exactly.
I would not give him not a damn click. I wouldn't even give him a click.
I say click on it. We just looking at these thumbnails. I'm not gonna click because, you know.
Yeah.
But I was gonna
bring the value up.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna pull up some of the comments that these people leave on my video about how dumb I am, how stupid I am. He more of a man than me. I'm an idiot. This, that. Then they say I'm all wrong about stuff, but they never say what I said was wrong. Like when I say about crime and I say about redlining or how people was kept away from living in certain places or how people are over policed or this or that, the other.
Those commenters are sheep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
They're just repeating what they overheard.
And people
They're
like
not expressing an original thought.
Yeah,
and he's a sheep. They have a black sheep now that they can follow, so they're loving it.
They feel
They eat
better
it up.
hearing they racist thoughts come out of a black mouth than they say, "See, I ain't racist.
Right.
I voted for Obama
Right,
in 08."
exactly.
Yeah,
When,
and then
so,
they
like,
love to
literally,
tell me
when
I'm
racist,
stupid.
Right, they try to clean
when
it up.
racist white people say, "I have a black friend," when racist white people say, "I have a black friend, so I can't be racist," they're talking about him. They're talking about people like this guy right here. You know,
He's a black friend.
Yeah, he's the black friend who racist people have as their friend.
Thing. Like, it's a weird thing because we've got like, because we live over here in our new neighborhood. We live. It's kind of racially, it's kind of diverse, but in our little row of homes over here in our particular part of the neighborhood, like we're surrounded by, you know, older white people. Like they're all elderly white people. They're all like 60 or older. Like, and one particular, I'll walk this back a little bit. So about a month or so ago, I come outside, and I find it interesting when I go around my neighborhood just to see. I peruse my neighborhood and see what signs they have up. So it's kind of a mixed bag between Trump, Pence, and Biden, Harris, or whatnot. And then some people are in the middle and they have up the Wu-Tang sign, or it says, you know, presidents come and go, but Wu-Tang is forever. You know. Yeah. I wanted to get one of those, but these neighbors,
I don't have a Bone Thug sign.
These neighbors, they're 60-year-old white people, and they've been the most. All of our neighbors have been very polite and nice to us, and we're the only black family over here on this little strip. And you know, these people have like brought us gifts, housewarming gifts, and they give us like, you know, vegetables and stuff from the garden and all sorts of stuff. You know, just kind neighborly stuff. But one day I come outside and I see a Trump Pence sign, which is like, all right, well, you know, vote however you want to vote. You know, no big deal. We could be neighbors. But then next to it, they had a Black Voices for Trump sign. And I'm like, y'all ain't black. We're the only black people here. So that was for us, clearly, you know? And
I could have done this the whole time.
Yeah, so I think that sign disappeared about 6 hours later, by the way. I think they saw me out there just gawking at it like, did these motherfuckers you know? And then my wife was telling me the other day, like, she was in there, you know, she's like visited their home, like she's seen their living room, you know, long story short, and they have like little, like, they had like a Sambo statue or something like that, like a blackface statue. And I'm like, okay, are these guys like, are they unwittingly racist? Do they not understand, you know, what that means? Like, why would you have something like that in your living room? You know,
they probably don't think that they are racist.
That's what I'm getting from it. And I'm glad I wasn't there, because I'm the type that I would just be like, what's that? You know, like, I would make them explain.
What's that about? Why do you have it? Where did you get it? Who gave it to you? Why?
Yeah, so I do recognize that there are just some people, you know, like in this neighborhood in particular, it was a predominantly white neighborhood when they moved in, probably back in the 70s or whatever, and they're not, you know, maybe they're just getting used to the idea of like having, you know, black and brown people around. They may not like see themselves as racist or see like what they do as racist. Like, again, it's an unconscious bias, and it's like, you don't want to be the one to take it upon yourself to have to educate people about that stuff, but sometimes you have to like push it along, like, yo, like that's not, it's the same thing with like my buddy when he was telling his friend, you know, about the Kanye dress up thing. Like, no, you can't do that, man. That's not okay.
Right.
You
know. Yeah, I mean, sometimes people don't know. You got to bring it to their attention, man. Wake them up.
Yeah. So
there was an argument with that too, with like little white kids wanting to wear like Black Panther costumes and stuff like that. That was a thing too. Like after the movie came out, of course.
Yeah, I thought that was dumb. Like,
why is that a problem?
Popular. Yeah, I didn't see that as a problem.
Why is that a problem? It's a costume.
Man, I'm pretty sure I wore the Superman mask when I was a kid too. Big old white face, white plastic face. You know, when you're kids, you're kids. You know, it's different.
Yeah, if it's an actual costume, fine. Like, that's a character. But don't go to Halloween as, I'm a black guy, you know, with a noose around your neck. Like that's a little bit different. Like I'm not a thing to be a costume. Like I'm a black girl. Look at me being black. Hey, y'all, you know, like that's a problem.
Another one of those gray areas.
Like you're making a characterization out of me. Like I'm not a caricature. I'm a human. So don't do that.
Well,
don't Rachel Dolezal all us. We don't want that.
Right.
Yeah. Please don't do that.
And then she tried to actually be educating somebody about some stuff when who are you? You ain't even who you say you are.
And sold a bunch of books after she got caught.
The funny thing is, and I'll be honest, one of my most impactful African studies classes I had was from a white man, but he wasn't pretending to be black. He was just a man who, this is what I study. This is fascinating to me. Yeah. And he was just educated, just like, but he wasn't pretending, oh, call me Mr. Johnson, you know, he was just, it was just giving us information, and it was such a good class. I mean, and when people are just passionate about a topic, you know, you can be passionate about African American studies or whatever you want to call it, Black studies or African diaspora studies without putting on blackface, like, you know, and pretending that you have curly hair. That's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, when you show respect for the culture.
All the while taking you know, an opportunity away from a real black woman because you're getting all these black scholarships. You know, you're literally getting scholarships for black people, for black studies. Like I don't care if you get a scholarship to study, you know, African American studies or anything, but if you have to pretend that you're someone else to get it, and you're taking away an opportunity from the same people you profess to be trying to help, that's like really super duper problematic.
Right. Well, especially when you're putting the head of the NAACP and you're posing as something that you're not, you know.
Right.
It'd be one thing if you were like a white woman and the head of an organization and you were paying it forward and offering opportunities and empowering you know, black men and black women.
You're literally taking, though, an opportunity from another black woman to be in that position. That was, and to me, that was the only problem with it. Because to me, I thought that it was strange that she would go this far to pretend to be black. When, I mean, you meet a lot of black people like, girl, this is kind of hard, girl. Are you sure that this is what you want to do? Like, I've been doing this 24/7 for 44 years. That ain't easy. Why do you want to jump into this? You know, so it's weird in that regard. But if you like it so much that you want to do it, fine. But just, you can't be stealing from us. Other than that, if you love the studies, if you want to teach people because you're well-read and you know this, then go for it. But don't take anything from us. Yeah, that's all. That's all. I don't care about you wanting to be black.
I'm hearing the echo. Is that
sounds like a sci-fi.
Got real. Two J's.
What in the world?
We have two pictures of Jay. Look.
Sounds like the Twilight Zone. Welcome to the third dimension.
All right.
Another one. See, man, with the silence.
Khaled's another one that used to drop the N-word, and then he got corrected.
Who's that?
DJ Khaled. He used to say the N-word a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. Then he got checked for that.
Nah, you have me thinking too. Cigar, I don't know what your name is. I don't want to call you Cigar.
Ian. My name's Ian.
I was thinking, like, you were talking about, like, the discrepancy, like, you know, you're going to read, whoever's trying to make the point, right, it's going to say they make the least amount of crimes, right? They'll say, oh, black people made more crimes, or you say white people made more crimes, you know, you want to win the argument. But I think location is
gaslighting,
huge.
but
yeah. Location is huge, right? Like, so if you grow up, I don't want to say a hood because some people are just hood adjacent and then you still got to deal with the same stuff because you still got to deal with them when you got to walk by or something. Or you're going to your school. There's so much, at least the way I grew up in Puerto Rico, it was pretty bad. So you have to like survive making it through that day of school that you're not even thinking like, I got to kill this test, right? You're thinking like, how am I going to make it there and come back? Like that's way more than like the show we're watching right now, or some of us are watching, like The Undoing. Like it's like, you know, like they got money and everything. Not even just putting it on like, you know, color or anything like that. But like, so he doesn't have to think about any of that, right? They take him to the school, they pick him up, like nannies and stuff. Like when that's not your reality daily, there's like you still gotta eat. You know, you still gotta figure out a way to like if your stuff gets taken, right? Your dad might be teaching you self defense over how to do finances. Like there's a difference there. Location I think is just a lot.
I'm having technical difficulties.
Also, it's his side.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jay's side. Oh, he muted it himself.
Okay, yeah, the audio was in and out, man. I'm not sure I caught like the crux of your point, man. Can you drive it home for me?
Like again?
No, I was getting. Well, I'll tell you what I gathered so much. Like you were talking about, people's realities based on their conditioning and how they're brought up, and one person's priorities may not be necessarily reflect the next person's like priorities in terms of like social etiquette.
So
right?
Kind of. So I was putting it more on location.
Yeah.
So
regionally, okay.
Normally on an argument, somebody will go, "You're white, you're privileged, you're black, you're whatever, right? Whatever they want to put you on."
The
Normally, you're not
generalizations,
gonna know what somebody like thinking is because you're not that person. You're just assuming. What I meant was like location. This is just like from sociology too. Like so, you grow up in a very nice neighborhood. Like your books is there, all that stuff is. All those options are there. When you don't have that, and you have to worry about like somebody beating you up after school or something, so you're almost more like trying to avoid that place rather than trying to get more educated. You're thinking about how to like defend yourself. That's what I mean. That a lot of times the argument goes from just race rather than like location based. Like even earlier, the whole thing started with like, oh, you was like, oh yeah, he thought I lived in New York, so he thought like it made sense that I said it, right? So we went to location, and then once I said Virginia, it was like, oh, never mind, location is big too.
Yeah, I think we talked about that a little bit earlier too. Like I was saying, being a black woman from Texas, the N-word means something way different to her than it would to somebody who grew up in the Bronx.
Right.
Yeah, it's conditioning, and again, that's social etiquette, and it's something that we all learn as we travel and we go to different places and different spaces and mix in with different people. Like
your social norms, the social norms can change too from place to place too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I have a friend who was in the Army. He went down to Mississippi once, and like he was in a bar full of white people, and they were calling him N-words. Like, oh, you're one of those N-words, It was just they just didn't see anything wrong with it. Like that's what their social circles. That's how they. That's what they call black people. That's how they refer to them. They don't see anything wrong with it.
Oh, regardless
those Confederate states,
nothing.
Apparently. Based on the story I heard. I've never been to Mississippi, and I'm not sure I want to go now.
You didn't even need to hear that one conversation. You should have just known that. No, it's crazy. Like, so
I can't get
I moved here for high school. I moved here for high school, so like at 15, right? I grew up in Puerto Rico all the way to 15 years, and then I moved to the States. So I had to basically learn not to say it myself. I had to learn what people thought of me already off of seeing my face. I thought that was crazy. And right now, I'm not as like, my beard is not that big right now, but you guys have seen me before. I tend to look Arabic most of the time. So I have to basically learn what jokes and what questions are going to be thrown my way. So like if I went to work I would wear my veteran's jacket, right? So it says like Navy, the one stuff, Iraqi freedom, New freedom. But some people thought like I was from there, and I'm like, no, I was on this side, like.
Biases, I remember one time I was going in for a job interview that a buddy of mine had helped me out with, and he's a white guy. He was a friend and like former mentor of mine.
He's a white guy.
And, well, I'm just setting the stage,
I
had a wicked beard at the time, and he texted me one night before I went into the interview. He's like, "Hey man, make sure you trim that beard. You look a little ISIS."
Wow. That's crazy. Like,
jokingly and everything. Like, damn.
That's That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, get ready to wrap this up, man. It's been a great show. I'm gonna show you one of the stupid comments right quick. I know it's echoing and sounding horrible. I don't know what the hell happened.
Stadium sound, baby. Stadium sound.
Right. Welcome Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
At the
Monster truck rally.
Make America great again.
Oh, Jesus. I knew it was coming.
That was pretty good.
Let me show you this right quick, man. All right.
See that?
Here go one right here. This is a dumb comment, but it's funny to me. Right here.
I was gonna say, can we blow that up a little bit?
He talking about Tatum hat being backwards, but you the dude from Chicago with stickers on your cap lid. So I'm dumber than him because he wear. I was talking about a Make America Great hat.
Oh, you talking about something specific?
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously.
Right, it ain't working. The joke ain't gonna come off right. Don't
Right,
matter.
you ain't stick the land in there, buddy.
Right.
That's a dumb comment. Yeah.
That joke hit worse than mine earlier, man.
More the dumb comments Sunday. I don't know what happened. I'm glad this happened at the end of the show, though.
Yeah.
I never heard it do that.
Let you all wrap it up before we get out of here. You all can say what you want to say. We start with you, CJ. What's up before you go?
I hope nobody took offense to my jokes.
We always take offense to your jokes. But
I know, man. I know. I give Jay 9 compliments, and then he'll read whatever horrible thing I say. He's like, I'm picking this one out. And then I'll see it come up. I'm like, oh, man.
Well, you got the opportunity to
it's
clean
the timing. It's the timing.
it up. Yeah.
Nah, he knows. You doing your thing, man.
All right, thanks for coming through, CJ. You take it easy. I'll see you Sunday, brother.
All right, man.
Bye, CJ.
How do I do it?
Roxy say it sound like the Wiz. Who goes there? Click them shoes, bitch. 3 times, click them heels, bend over, grab your ankles. The Wiz coming.
What do you have Dorothy doing?
Shout out to Roxy for hanging with us this whole time. She's been consistent this evening.
Grab them ankles, pop that ass, make them, knees bow.
Yeah, you sound like the DJ in
got Dorothy pussy popping out of handstand.
You want to get somewhere? I'm going to take you to heaven there, girl. Bend them over. Let's go. I'm going to show you why they call me the Wiz. They used to call me the Jizz.
Follow the yellow brick road, Dorothy.
They going to follow this yellow brick road, baby. And hey, be careful at the end. It get a little sticky, icky. You know what I'm saying? That white part is a little sticky. It's a little quicksand, baby. Gotcha. You're not going nowhere. The Wiz has been waiting for a nice, sweet thing like you, baby.
Don't mind me. That's just the Tin Man, baby.
Don't mind him.
Hey, Cocoa Butter Barbie.
They used to call him Stanley. Because he sure knows how to work that drill. You know what I'm saying? That baby.
Man, nobody ever thought it was weird
tires,
that one young girl was rolling around with a bunch of male characters.
Right. You guys are gang, bang.
Terrible.
She said this to do. This is the remix of the Wiz. Played by Snoop Dogg. Look here, bitches. You bring a little bit of that sticky icky, and the Wiz gonna make it feel all good and tickly. You know what I'm saying, that baby? Now, all right.
Hey,
now.
Shar.
Drink
How
this
are you
potion.
doing? My
It's
people
called
in here
Baby
strong. Oh God.
Drop an EP.
The Lions roar.
Coming soon. The newest remix from The Wiz. Been working on it for 25 years, and it is worth the wait. Told you I worked in radio. Come down to Bob's Used Car Lot. For $9.99, you can just give it to me. Won't get much for it, but I'll take it.
All right, y'all. This ain't Leroy.
Here go to, hold on.
Leroy,
Uh-oh.
you warmed up yet? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got the glow. Ooh, yeah.
Catching bullets with your teeth, Negro, please. I tried that. I said, I think, and then went through. I've been to this. And
Now I had a gap. I had the parking lot made. That's how it happened. I thought I had the glow. I actually had the no. It didn't work. I tried to catch the bullet with the teeth. I bit too soon. I said, oh shit. Shit.
Now it looks like my tongue in jail.
Oh,
Smile
Lord,
direct,
y'all.
here I come.
We out lockout.
I tried to teach him, but he wouldn't listen. He thought he had it together. I said, Ian, wait. It's not as easy as it seemed. You bit too soon, brother.
I got excited.
You jumped the gun. Literally, you jumped it and the bullet made you pay. You don't jump on the gun and don't get hit with the bullet.
Call me Bullet Tooth Ian. That should have been my YouTube channel. I missed an opportunity.
Well, you can always start another one.
I
You can
could.
always change your channel name.
hey,
Catching bullets with your teeth. Up next. Timing. Up next. Wait your turn.
My cheeks hurt now.
Wow. I know, right?
that is all water.
You can teach me some moves.
I might live a year longer off tonight.
Right.
Laughter.
Y'all remember at the end?
You can teach me some moves.
Oh man. I haven't seen that movie in a minute.
Yeah, I love the movie. Loved it.
Last Dragon,
Love it.
Beat Street.
All of that. Oh my God.
Raymo.
I never saw Beach Street, but I did see The Last Dragon.
Will I die on the train tracks like Rainbow and Beach Street? And then the baby mamas looking at they miss me. But baby mama miss me, but she glad I'm gone. You know me and her sister had fun going on. I'll reach my peak. I can't sleep. I wish to be. I want to go to be. I'm sick of bitches lying. I'm sick of niggas talking. Matter of fact, I'm sick of talking.
Faye, that was a fucked up.
That was a biggie.
It sounded like it.
Between.
I thought it was real entertainment news. I was like, he count out here? Like, what?
Birthday was the worst day.
I thought real entertainment news hopped on the live. He was in here. Is he in here? That sound like you real entertainment news.
He didn't. Chris P, man, you funny, man.
All right, y'all. What we doing? We doing the after party? What we doing?
About to be a wrap. Ty, anything you want to add before we get out of here? I'm about to put the links for both of y'all channels in the box for everybody.
Appreciate you, brother.
Okay. So yeah, thank you once again for having me. Thank you, everybody, for receiving me so well. It was actually nice to talk to you, CJ. I think that a lot gets lost in the translation sometimes. So I was glad that I got to talk to you face to face. Lovely meeting you, Ian. And I'm going to put my email in the chat when I get off. If you don't mind emailing me, let's figure out something to do on a collaboration. And it can be about because I talk about a lot of things on my channel too. And I would just love to have you. I'm doing a lot more streaming here lately. And I like to have male co-hosts just to add balance, because I do have mostly women watching my channel. He's taken, y'all. He's taken, but we still, like to have a man there. It does add a little spice that I just cannot give the ladies, and the ladies seem to love it. Jay is with me every other Thursday, so I do appreciate that, and I appreciate him having me over here. And I do want y'all to know the biggest thing I have coming on my channel. Sunday Fun Day is always huge for me. We have a fucking blast over there on my channel. We are super fucking lit. I start at 5 o'clock on Sundays, and I go for about 2 to 3 hours. I take about usually 3 topics from social media. They're just trending over the week, something that really, caught my eye. And I, give you the story, give you my breakdown on it. And then just like Jay invites everybody to come up and speak, I, take calls about each topic, move on to the next topic. And then I have my, games. I have my features. I do a what the fuck tweet of the week, just something that I saw on Twitter that tripped me out. I share that with everybody. And then I have a Florida man story. After that, we play games for money. I created a game called IDGAF. I have people in here who have won that game. And last week's winner won $30. She ended up splitting the pot with another lady because it was like both their birthdays or whatever. Actually, Roxy won last week. Roxy won, and she gave the pot away to a woman whose birthday it was. And then that woman split it with another woman whose birthday it was. And so, we have a good ass time. And then I do a raffle at the end for gift cards. So I have channel members, my paying channel members. I do a raffle for them, and then they get to stay in the second raffle that I do for everybody who's watching if they want to participate. And that's every Sunday. Mondays here lately, I've been doing Real Housewives of Potomac Talk with Mr. Chalaki. He's my co-host, and we just talk about everything that happened on the show. Tuesdays, I don't have a feature. Wednesdays, that's my members only stream. And I have 3 of my members in the chat that I can point out. 4 of my channel members, my paying channel members are here tonight. I can't hear you, Jay. Is it me?
I said, you're harder to keep up with than my wife's boyfriend. Ba-doom. Right. All right.
And then every other Thursday, y'all know Jay is on my channel. Friday, I don't have a feature yet. I might bring back Friday Follicle Chronicles. Darnell's one on my channel too. And that's just where I sell. I make my own herbal hair growth oil and hair growth spray. So under this wig, I do have luscious locks of my own. They look like color purple twist right now because that's how I keep my hair under my wig, and it grows very long. But I might bring back that to show you all how I take care of my hair on Fridays. And then Saturday, I don't do anything yet. I don't have a feature, but we might add something because Alethea, if I may, she's showing us how she gets paid. And she gets paid very well. That's why, Jay, she can pay for your drinks on a date because Alethea has money to burn. And so she's got us into some money-making things, and I'm going to add that as part of another members-only stream. She showed us how to do it this Wednesday.
Share that with everybody how to make some money.
Look, y'all need to come on over. We getting paid over here. I don't know what y'all doing.
I need to know.
I don't know what y'all doing on this channel.
Don't be trying to throw salt. Talking about we broke and you get money. Leave
I'm
here.
just saying. You brokies might want to come on over. No, but it is something that we're doing. It's something we're doing. We're excited about. And last but not least, for my old people, Orange Juice Jones. As in, I saw you and him walking in the rain. He's going to be on my channel now on the Thursdays that Jay is not there. We're going to do a talk show together called A Love Jones with Orange Juice Jones. So if y'all have some relationship dilemmas that y'all want Orange Juice Jones to solve for you, email me. I'm going to put my email in the chat as soon as I get down from here. I'm editing the commercial for our live stream right now as soon as I get off with Jay. And after we talk about the relationship dilemma letter and he solves that, then it's kind of going to be like this. But I'm going to keep it relationship focused. We're going to talk about relationship stuff that's going on social media and in the blogs just for an hour every other Thursday. I got his time. So we're going to just be, having some fun. I'm very old school on my channel. And so since my demographic is going up in age, I just figured they might like one of their, 80 stars, and he's rocking with me. So we're going to do this thing.
You're busy.
That's all. I'm very busy. And I work a full-time job, but if y'all want more about that, then come on my channel. I'll tell you. Can't hear you.
Your audio's out again, bro.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I keep forgetting. Hey, Roxy.
We're not in love
Make sure you
anymore.
call in on this show. Don't be talking about something you gonna do this or that because of CJ. Don't be trying to play. Better call. And I'm glad you mentioned that commercial. I made a music video for 2020. So I'm gonna play that for you guys. I'm glad you reminded me. So if everybody is about done, I'm gonna go ahead and play this video.
I'm done.
All right, let me put this video on I made, and then we'll see what's up. Hope
thank you,
y'all
Lady
enjoy.
B. Lady B put my email address down there. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Y'all please email me.
I did have one video I was gonna play, but nobody sent me nothing today for Black Friday, so I ain't gonna play that one. I'm gonna play my music video. So without further ado, here comes some more beats by the pound.
Uh-oh.
Enjoy.
It all seemed pretty great when 2020 was new. Billie Eilish swept the Grammys, we had Parasite too. But
Did it echo?
No, it was coming through fine.
Not bad. I'll restart it.
That was good.
Well. If anybody is interested, I know this mic is horrible, but if you want to be in my next video, all you got to do is be subscribed, comment, and I pick you. When your comments, you comment the picture, and you can be in the video. That's it.
I like that.
That's all I have to say about that.
Dope.
So with that being said, everybody, I see y'all Sunday. See you
Does
all.
Cigar Talk get closing words?
Didn't get to close with anything. I can give you my elevator speech. Yeah. I'm Cigar Talk on YouTube. At Cigar Talk Podcast on Instagram. And you can find me pretty much anywhere podcasts are available, audio or video. But I produce a lot of content, whether it's around business tips, Black entrepreneurship. I'm huge on Black entrepreneurship on my channel. I have no problem plugging other people's businesses, after I vet them. Make sure that you get the light that you need to succeed. Entertainment, we talk a lot about that. We do TV and movie reviews, lots of long-form conversation on a plethora of different topics, and we have fun. So, if you're rocking with it, if you like what you heard here tonight, by all means, please like, subscribe, and follow. I appreciate it. And I produce new content every week. I don't have a set calendar like Jay and Ty do just yet. My life is pretty crazy, but I do generate new content weekly. Some weeks you might get one video, some weeks you might get 3.
That's cool.
And as always, a lack of discipline may cost you your kingdom. No sympathy for kings. Good night, folks.
Amen.
Is this thing on?
All right. Peace from the Wiz.
This so ghetto ass Wiz. Peace from the Wiz. Dorothy, pussy popping on a handstand. Come on. Bend over, let me see it. Let me see it. Bend over, let me see it.
With a toy mic you get from the kids' karaoke machine.
I had to smack myself. I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have put that.
Candyman has returned.
I hate that.
Are you ready for the Candyman?
Hell no.
Ty, I did shoot you an email just now.
Okay, cool. I'll reply after I get off of here, if we get off.
All right, everybody. I'm about to end this. Y'all have a good weekend. Catch y'all Sunday.
Peace.